Hello, my name is HQ of HQ Reacts. Welcome to my channel. Please do me a favor. Hit the like button, share the stream, and click the notification button for new content.
Hello. This is HQ. HQ in the house, right? HQ in the house. And this is one of those, lives that we go over. And we just wanted to impart information, right? I wanted to impart some information. So I went ahead and got some of the information that I said I was going to show you guys. Now, hey, Natural Chris, hey. This is our immediate reaction to the big beautiful bill that Trump had. This was when they were going to pass the big beautiful bill, right? They were going to pass that bill, and this was the headline back then. Okay, majority of voters opposed GOP budget bill, with just 67% of Republicans in support of it. Quinnipiac University National Poll finds Trump job approval 38%. His job approval is 38%. His handling of Russia-Ukraine war lowest among list of issues that they had with Trump. So from the beginning, he wasn't getting the support. Okay, he wasn't getting the support that he wanted or needed to, do with his agenda. For some reason, he felt as though his agenda was big enough where he could do whatever he wanted to do. That was the problem, okay? You did too much too soon. It was just too much too soon. And this is one of the latest headlines. I guess Trump and admin to distribute reduced SNAP benefits. What to know? Reduced SNAP benefits. So this is not going to bode well for the people. This is from Newsroom, right? Newsweek. That's not going to bode well. You back on what you're talking about now? No, I haven't been talking about this. So Trump admin distribute. So they're going to get the food stamps. Who knows when they're going to get the food stamps? When they want to take your food stamps away, they take the food stamps away like magic, and the food stamps is gone within a day or two. So I'm just wondering if they said they were going to give you the food stamps, do you turn them on today and then you get them tomorrow? Because these people need their food. So that's one of the headlines that we had this week, right? National job approval ratings. And this is the one I got from Fox News, right? A Fox News poll. I wish you all could see it better. I guess national job approval ratings. Trump is less than 100%. The Republicans are less than 100%. Overall, everybody's rating is under 50%. Independents. So nobody's doing pretty good. Nobody is doing good in any of these races. Okay. Nobody is doing good within any of these polls, right? None whatsoever. Nobody's doing good. Democrats got a shittier rating than the Republicans, but they still blame the Republicans. Okay? They still blame the Republicans for the shutdown. Okay? And I'm just showing you headlines from some of these places, right? But then I'll get into these stats. I have a gentleman say the stats. Okay. Most Americans think Trump is trying to exercise more power than previous presidents. Of course he is. Of course. He's gone too far. This is why he is hemorrhaging support. You are hemorrhaging support because you're doing too much. Okay? Hey, we said so. around 7 in 10 Americans say President Trump is trying to exert more power than his predecessors. And most of those who say this describe Trump's effort as a bad thing for the country. 7 out of 10 say that's a bad thing for the country. Okay. 49% of U.S. adults say Trump is trying to exercise more presidential power than previous presidents, and that this is bad for the country. Okay. So you got a lot of people saying this is crazy, right? Okay. So that's another one. So here we are. Here we are at the next one. Hold on. Let me put it on the screen. Here we go. Man, I wish it was brighter, but I can't get it no brighter than what it is. Okay. Most Americans disapprove of Trump on every issue mentioned. Okay. 66% disapprove of tariffs, 63% him managing the economy, 62% the economy, 63% managing the government. Okay. 60% Russia and Ukraine war, 59% U.S. relations with other countries, 56% immigration, 55% crime in this country. So he's underwater with everything that he is doing. Everything that he is doing, he's underwater. Okay. So let's move on. Let's move on. Okay. Let's move on. Here we are. We're going to move on. Now, this is what we did. We compared. We got a comparison. Okay. President Trump's approval rating. President Trump's approval rating. The latest polls. November 3rd, 2025. About 54% disapprove. 55%. 43% approve. Okay. This is, what is this? This is New York Times. Very right-leaning, right? So we come down here, and then we say Joe Biden versus Trump. I'm not sure how to prove that. Approval, 16% Biden. They were pretty even at the beginning. No, they were both above water at the beginning. Biden and then Trump. And as we went on, Biden kept the approval rating, but Trump went underwater with his approval rating. In this time of the year, same time as Biden. Okay. Second term, disapproving. Biden had a disapproval rating of 11%. Donald Trump has a disapproval rating of 16%. Barack Obama had a 49%. At this time, the beginning of the term, he had 49% positive. Trump had 9% positive. Day 100, Obama had an approval rating of 33%. Trump had a disapproval rating of 8, -8, disapproval of +8. 100 days in, Obama had 33% above, and Donald Trump had 8 below. And then we did George W. Bush. Approval, George W. Bush had 29 plus approval on 100 days, and Trump has -9 approval. So he's been underwater. He is way underwater for what he is, for what he's supposed to be doing, where you're supposed to be, where every president before him has had a positive rating. This president has had a negative rating. So The New York Times. This is the New York Times. So far I've showed you like 5 different ones, 3 leaning right. So now we get to the political. Okay, let's get to the political. This is a far right leaning one as well. Okay. What does it say? Many Americans agree the American dream is gone. It no longer exists. Harris voter says 51% is gone. And they a percentage of Americans who say they do or don't agree with the statement. Trump voter says they agree 38%. The Harris voter 46%. So as time goes on, and the age, and they change the age. New poll. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm sorry. Sorry, guys. New poll shows what Americans think of America, and it's not a great thing. Okay? It's not a great thing. Okay? Nobody is seeing America as a good thing right now. Okay? And then we're going to get into the actual digits. People are going to give you the actual facts. Okay? Here we go. CNN poll. President Trump's approval rating falls to 37%, lowest of second term. New CNN poll, 37%, the lowest approval rating. Okay, we understand it from the CNN. This is a CNN publication and a poll, right? And then we go here, and then I'll turn on we're almost done. Don't fall out on me yet. Don't fall out. Okay. Here's a poll. President Trump's job approval rating. Disapprove. Y'all see that right here? Maybe you can't see it. Disapprove. 9.9% underwater. Underwater. He's a -9 from when he started. President Trump's job approval. The Republican Party, Democratic Party, -26 disapprove of Donald Trump. -13 Republican Party, Democratic Party favorability. I'm sorry, unfavorable is 20. What is that? 26%, 26, -26. Republican Party is -13. Sorry. This is where Donald Trump is, within a margin of 2 or 3, 44.2%. Donald Trump. Unfavorable, 51%, Donald Trump. Republican Party, 53% unfavorable. Democratic Party, 59% unfavorable. The congressional as a whole, 42%. So they don't have a favorable rating for anybody, for anyone, right? And, you know, we know what it is because of what's going on now. But, here's the thing. Democrats don't have a message. Democrats don't have a message or a leader. Okay? Democrats don't have a message or a leader. But we're going to do this last, but definitely not the least. Pollsters, actual people who read the data. People who read the data. And they're telling you what this data means.
Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome back to, once again, Behind the Numbers. And Andrew doesn't have audio once again. It never stops. Folks, The Republicans have already lost the shutdown. They've lost it. They don't think they've lost it yet, but they have. The numbers are continuing to roll in, and the damage is continuing to mount. As I pointed out in an article this morning, we are now at the point where Mike Johnson's bad night in November 26th would have been 20 seats, and now, because of what's happening with the shutdown and with the economic collapse, we are getting into a point where it could be a 35-night seat. We have to all do a lot of work between now and then, but this is not good. This has turned into a very ugly moment for them, and it's turned into a very steep political precipice they're falling over. So, Andrew, can you hear me now? Are you back on?
I can hear you, yes.
All right. Let's get to it. Andrew, tell us where we're at. All-time low approval ratings.
All-time low. Yep.
Every week it's a new low.
It's every week it's a new low. And it's a combination of factors. I think it's a lot to do with the economy right now.
Yep.
He's not going to recover from this.
No.
The economy is not looking like it's very steady or stable. We will continue to go down, continue
18
to
points underwater, folks.
And it's still movement with independents, but you're also now seeing movement with white voters and male voters. So that is going to be a crisis.
Look, he sucks.
Net approval over time.
I mean, and folks, on paper, Biden's economy was worse than this on paper at this point in his presidency. In October of 21, Biden was still in a very deep COVID hole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm told we have a golden age with trillions of dollars of money coming in, but
that's what I'm hearing. That's what they're saying. It's and he's got his new China trade deal, so that'll pull us out of the hole, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're fine now, right? It's all good.
So this is a issue polling. Since he took office, it's just been a downward spiral on everything. We're not getting these government government data about the economy right now because of the shutdown, but people are clearly feeling the pinch, especially on inflation and prices. I think the thing to point out, and what I wrote about for LS this week, when Trump left office in 2021, his economic approval was still in the mid 50s. It was still solid. He never dipped below that because part of the reason is because the economy was doing pretty well. He hadn't managed to tank it, but now we're in a situation where it's the exact opposite. He has massive disapproval on the economy, and people, that whole Trump mystique that he's a great businessman, he'll handle the economy well. It's gone. It's just gone.
Shot to bits. And where this ends up playing out, here we go. That next chart is actually really relevant to us right now. Where it's playing out, folks, he's underwater in Florida. Okay, he's underwater in Texas. He's underwater in Georgia and South Carolina and North Carolina and states that are going to be in major play next year.
All those swing states. So one of the things you hear repeated, ad infinitum is Trump has a mandate because he won the election and he won all the swing states. Well, now he's underwater in all those swing states. And if you modeled, the 2024 election to the polling today, he would not win. He would lose to Harris.
He would have gotten blown up. In fact, he would have gotten blown out.
Yeah.
Because let's remember, folks, he only won Texas with 53% of the vote. Texas. Y'all.
He won the election by a point and some change.
Yep.
They call it this big mandate. Of course, that's not true.
You can declare it all you want. It doesn't make it true. I can tell you I'm 6'4", but I'm 5'10". I ain't going to change.
So demographic approval, the things to notice here, that the fact that he's underwater with men is pretty shocking. Trump has been consistently strong with men his entire political career, the last 10 years.
Last decade.
That's been one of his foundational demographics. And I'm surprised to see him underwater with men. But this just goes to show that, his economic policy is universally hurting people. I do not see, he might be able to recover somewhat in an election. in 2026 on this with some of these demographics. But look at Hispanics. That's a demographic that pulled him over the line in several states, and that Republicans are now predicating their 2026 campaigns on.
Sure.
And he is deep underwater with Hispanic voters.
And as you and I have talked about on this show and talked about separately, and as Mike Madrid has laid out the case very clearly, every gain Trump had and Republicans had with Hispanic voters is not only gone, but it's reversed direction hard in the other direction. And every gain that he had with black voters is gone, and it's reversed in the other direction. Black men now have a Trump approval of under 10%. This is the greatest squandering of a political advantage that I've ever seen in my career. I mean, by far.
I don't know if Republicans are. I'm sure they're panicking, right? Like they have to be at this point. If you can't recover at least a few points with black voters and Hispanic voters, it's doom and gloom for Republican midterm hopes.
Again, I'm telling you, I think you could be looking at a 35-seat loss if these numbers hold up, if the economy does not improve, if you end up in with inflation still being the number one issue and being the issue in which Donald Trump is underwater by 32, 33 points. I mean,
so this is the most important issues.
Yeah.
The economy is clearly ticking up and up and up. You look at 2022, middle of Biden's presidency, it spiked massively because of the inflation crisis. We are going far beyond that. I think to go back to the demographics here, what black and Hispanic voters care about, and what they say they care about, is the economy. It's universal with most demographics, but especially with those particular demographics, they were suffering in the Biden economy, and Trump is making it a lot worse.
So Andrew, let me ask you this question, because I think this is an interesting point. Let's go back to that prior slide, Sam. Immigration here is showing at about 8% on this chart. And I'm curious about your thoughts. Is this play on immigration, has it reached the point where they're playing to the most incredibly narrow base to try to hold on to that 20% of Republicans who are driven by like pure racial animus and hatred? Is that the whole ball game here for them? Because they seem to me to be putting themselves in a very perilous situation on immigration. And I think it's also, maybe, I want to get your thoughts on this, a cautionary note for Democrats too on the immigration front, because the economy is the thing that fixes all the problems for one side or the other. Immigration seems like it's drilling the Republicans into a deeper hole.
Right. So my working theory here is that when Trump closed the border, right, he did stop migrants from coming over the border. He has overcorrected, in my opinion. And it's overcorrection without any legislation, without Congress being involved. It's done by executive order and through the agencies. He has created a world where immigration is less and less of an issue, and the enforcement is more and more of an issue. I do not see immigration playing the role they wanted to. It will become, you can see this with trans issues in the Virginia governor's race.
Yep.
Winsome Earl-Sears is running on transgender, this and that. She is crashing out on that issue. And you'll see the same thing in 2026, where Republicans try to run on immigration, but there's no there except for the Groypers, the Nick Fuenteses, and the Tucker Carlson types. So this is the other part of the Navigator research poll that we were looking at. You see Mike Johnson out here saying, we're seeing polls that are saying, it's looking better and better for us, blah, blah, blah. Clearly not the case.
I can tell you, even his professional pollsters that cover for the NRCC, they're telling them this is a fucking disaster.
Yeah. When 52% of people say that Trump and Republicans have the power to end the shutdown, There's no question here.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
I think they've lost. I mean, I think this is one of those things that they're dead, but they're too done to lay down and start stinking. You know, they just don't have it together enough. Like, they don't have a comprehensive enough theory of the case, like how you get out of this. Because the minute they get out of this, they have to swear in Grijalva. The minute they get out of this, they have to go back to regular order to pass a CR. The minute you get out of this, they're going to send that discharge petition up the line. And I heard a thing yesterday from a Democratic member who said to me, watch what happens with some of these softer Republicans. They're getting extremely nervous right now. And they may even join the Epstein discharge petition now to start signaling to the membership or to the leadership that you can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
So
that wouldn't surprise me. It does surprise me that the Republicans haven't broken already. You know, Trump can spin this as a win to his people because they believe everything he says. I don't know why he hasn't done that yet. I think it's his own stubbornness, his own ego.
Yeah.
You know, I think this will not necessarily end Mike Johnson's speakership, but he will certainly lose a lot of power and a lot of influence after the shutdown concludes. And I think the thing is, none of us want a shutdown.
No,
we don't want this to keep going. You know, eventually there's that $6 billion in SNAP money that has to be spent, which of course the president is saying
the contingency
that he can't
reserve.
do. But when that runs out, I mean, the government shutdown.
It is fascinating that Donald Trump doesn't give a damn about any other kind of impoundment or rescission question. He'll spend whatever money he wants to spend from whatever pot he wants to spend it from, except for this. This is the one thing he can't.
Where did the money go? That's the question. If he can't spend it,
I want to know where that $18 trillion we've brought in is. That would fascinate me to see where that is on the balance sheet.
I'd be interested to see. Yeah, it's on the shelf.
Yeah.
So, Black America, they already put that into the numbers. They've already put that into the poll. They just need to. He said they don't know how to lay down and start stinking. They just don't know how to lay down and start stinking. It is what it is. These are pollsters that have been doing this for decades. That first guy, they have been doing this for years. And this is one of those super smart little white boys that tell you this is what it is, this is what it is. And they telling you it's over for the Republican. They already done baked into the cake, the gay stuff, trans stuff. They already baked it in the cake. They already baked it into cake. Long as the Democrats don't fuck it up, it's gonna be ugly next year. Because Trump has already destroyed the reputation and the goodwill that he was given. And most Republicans, just check out all of the House races. Just check out all the races that the Democrats have won since Trump became president. Just cleaning up all over the country. Just cleaning up all over the country. I think Oklahoma may have been the only one where there was a Republican who won. But every other place has been Democrats. Just cleaning up, cleaning their clock.
Sure. What else we got today? The East Wing of the White House. Tell us how people feel about the East Wing of the White House.
Well, it's like a lot of issues. It's 2-1. People don't like this. They don't approve of it. And there was a poll today or a couple of days ago that even with Trump's explanation, they actually like it worse. They disapprove of it more with Trump's explanation for this. You had a lot of conservative and right-wing pundits online and on TV saying people don't care. This is nothing. Nobody's going to care about this. Well, independent voters, voters broadly care about this. Even about a quarter of Republicans, when you dig into the crosstabs, disapprove of this. People do not like it. It is not good. 25% approval. It's not a campaign-winning issue, but it's symbolic and it's important.
Yeah, nobody liked him going in there and changing stuff in the White House. Nobody liked that. That was one of the nails in the coffin. And that Epstein file, Epstein is what broke it. And now we know that they're lying. And I'm gonna play a video after
and it's another notch for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think that the presence of I think the ballroom also at this moment we're in has that Marie Antoinette vibe, has that, you know, tumbrils and pitchforks vibe of, yes, I'm building my golden ballroom while the kids are starving. And I think that dissonance between that is part of this is being driven by people don't like the fact that the White House is being torn to shreds. Part of it is it's being torn to shreds to put in a ballroom so he can suck up to people, or people can suck up to him rather, at a scale that's never been imagined before in presidential history.
Right. And just take a look at that list of donors. Just you wait. They're going to get some kind of regulatory relief. They're going to get some kind of antitrust relief.
100%.
Just you wait. It'll only be a matter of time. And, you know, you had the United Airlines CEO yesterday, you know, essentially stumping for Republicans at the White House. I guarantee you he's going to get some kind of regulatory relief as a result of this.
Absolutely will. And look, why is Altria on there? Why is Reynolds Tobacco on there? Why is every tech firm out there that's worried about antitrust or AI regulation on there? They're just playing the game right now.
Yeah.
And, you know, crypto bros are next.
You got to wonder what their theory of the case is, because, you know, they believe that they can just throw money at this issue and eventually he will reward them somehow, but he will also punish them in the future. You're never done paying Trump. It's going to be especially evident when it comes to the data center issue. You know, a lot of people are saying that their utility bills are becoming they're going up by hundreds of dollars every month. Mm-hmm. And while it's not necessarily all to do with data centers, people are blaming that.
It ain't nothing.
People are pointing at them. And when that becomes an issue for his voters and the people that he really cares about, he doesn't really care about anymore. Right. But the people he needs to be on sides, he'll turn on those. He'll turn on those AI companies in a heartbeat.
If it starts to truly hurt him, he there's no one he has ever hesitated to betray in his entire life. I will say this too. One of the things I saw the other day, a calculation to meet the power demand for the projected AI data centers that are going to be built in the next 2 years, we have to build either 650 coal and natural gas power plants or 80 nuclear power plants in the next 2 years. Since we haven't built a nuclear power plant in the last 50 years, well, maybe we built one, the one in Georgia that just opened.
Yeah.
It's going to take a massive public investment to do that. And again, maybe it's that $17 billion of tariff income that somewhere exists. But, well, folks, once again, we've had another week of Donald Trump tearing apart his own coalition. This is why we keep encouraging people to stay active and stay involved. Don't feel like just because ICE is in the streets that you're losing politically. They're losing politically. They are in a position right now that is weaker than they have been for since probably the peak of COVID. And this has become an externality they can't spin, they can't get away from, they can't pretend it's not happening because it's happening. And for Democrats, I just want to give you two messages. I know you want to put a big white paper that says the negative externality impacts of the reduction of CFR 7-314 food aid for families under the SNAP benefits program will cause... No, stop. 2 lines. 2 lines, Democrats. Just 2 lines. Listen to them. Trump canceled Thanksgiving. Trump wants kids to starve. That's it.
That's all you need.
Speak English.
Yep.
All right, folks. Thank you so much.
So that is those are the facts. Those are polls that say they're in trouble. They're in trouble, and it is what it is. They know they're in trouble. You can feel the groundswell. You can feel the groundswell for this, right? But I discovered something the other day that I wanted to show you guys. I wanted you guys to listen to, right? So I'm gonna just show it because it just kind of pissed me off, because because I will listen to this person, but I was like, I don't even believe what I'm hearing. So listen to what I'm about to pay for you. Maybe you heard it, maybe you haven't. I don't know.
Roiper War. The Civil War for the GOP. Everybody knows it. Everybody can feel it. And this has been coming to a head for a very long time. It started last year. I said, I'm not going to vote for Trump. Why? Because Trump is no longer putting America first.
Trump is owned by the Zionist lobby, the Israel lobby. He's owned by affluent, aristocratic, wealthy Jews. He's owned by the lobbyists, the donors, as is Marco Rubio. Mike Waltz is a foreign spy. Susie Wiles, Stephen Miller, all these guys. There have been a few good appointments. I would say Tulsi Gabbard, the DNI, tried to prevent the unnecessary war with Iran. But she's like the Colin Powell of this administration, in my opinion. I think she ultimately sold it at the end, so she's the new Colin Powell.
He took $100 million from Miriam Adelson. He got endorsed by Nikki Haley when she was in Israel. That's a bad sign. Trump said that he would bomb Iran, which of course he then did. He said he would staple the green cards of millions of Indians to their college diplomas and let them live here forever, among other things. So last year I said, I'm not going to vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Kamala. I didn't tell anybody to do that. But I said, I can't in good conscience vote for Trump. He's not putting America first. And I was excoriated for this. People said I was a Democrat. I was a subverter. I happened to be right. Donald Trump appointed as his national security advisor, Mike Waltz. Mike Waltz was then fired 3 months later because he was literally on the phone with Netanyahu every day, working for him, trying to push America into a war with Iran. I'm not making that up. Google it.
Yeah, Donald Trump, he's morphed into a neocon. He's morphed into John McCain, George W. Trump. This kind of neoconservative infiltration into the GOP, it obviously started with Reagan, but we know that during the Bush administration, Bush Jr., during the 21st century, the early 2000s, those guys were working for Israel. But even dating back, I mean, we know that Richard Pearl and Douglas Feith, between the period of 1982 to 1983, were actually busted on FBI wiretaps. It was showed that they revealed U.S. national security intelligence to Israeli diplomats at the Israeli embassy. That's espionage. I'm pretty sure they got just a slap on the wrist, too, by the way, because they later would go on to both serve in the Bush Jr. administration, and both of them were actually co-authors of the Clean Break Memo, a new strategy for securing the realm, in 1996 to Bibi Netanyahu. They're Likudniks, right? Office of Special Planning. This was a new intelligence agency that these neocons, Paul Wolfowitz and Douglas Feith, created. Wolfowitz is considered the godfather, or at least the architect of Iraq War II, beginning in March 19th, 2003. And these guys procured fake intelligence from somebody named Ahmed Chalabi, which is a story for another day. To put it succinctly, he was an Iranian asset. His INC dissident group was being funded by Iran. And he duped the neocons because the neocons are not judicious. And he lied and said that Saddam had WMDs and that he was implicated in 9/11. And that's what they used to lie us into that war, obviously.
One of the top national security posts, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, was fired because he was working for Netanyahu inside our government. As soon as Trump was elected, he started a war in Yemen, bombing the Houthis. He gave Israel $12 billion in foreign aid while he's taking health care, taking away Medicaid. Then bombed Iran, got us involved in Israel's war with Iran, which surely we have not seen the end of just yet.
Yeah, Netanyahu, with all his hubris, he'll probably go ahead and attack Iran. Israel has to always be at war. For Israel to remain our strategic ally and our strategic proxy in the Middle East, they have to always be at war or in conflict with a Middle Eastern country, such as Iran. Because when they're at war, we protect them, we defend them, we keep a military presence in the region. When they're at war, they receive exorbitant sums of financial and economic aid. And when they're at war, obviously for Netanyahu, for his own narcissistic purposes, he can avoid being put in prison, which he will be if his coalition fumbles, right? So he is, who knows? If he gets a pardon, then you can obviously retract that statement. But if he doesn't get a pardon, he's going to want to remain in power for as long as he can, right?
He buried the Jeffrey Epstein files and for months engaged in a deliberate cover-up with lies and cover stories and deception that goes on until this day. His DOJ let an Israeli official who was trying to molest an underage girl escape from Las Vegas, Nevada, and take refuge in Israel. This is our Trump administration.
I remember that story too.
And throughout this year, people like myself and Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and others have become incredibly vocal about this betrayal. This is not the America First that we signed up for.
Yeah, Donald Trump's owned by the lobby. Maybe the Epstein client list would tell us something. I'm sure it would tell us something about both Democrats and Republicans. Just going back to his first term, he moves the embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. Major provocation because that's where the third holiest site in Islam is located, the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and for other reasons as well, but that's the primary reason, I think. And he pulls out of the unilaterally withdrawals from the JCPOA, the Iran nuclear deal, from 2015. This is important because the JCPOA was a bulwark. It was a bastion against Israeli lies and disinformation that Iran was building a nuclear weapon. Because in that treaty, under the provisions, they were limited to 3.67% enriched uranium capability. That was the maximum. They had a safeguards agreement with the IAEA, signatory of the NPT, UN weapons inspectors regularly inside of Iran with cameras. So Israel and Bibi Netanyahu couldn't lie to malign Iran to get us to fight a regime change war. It was never about nukes. After the war, he admitted they were over a year away. He's been saying they've been minutes away. He's been carrying this placard up to the UN General Assembly since the early 90s, saying they're months, weeks, minutes, nanoseconds away from scores of nuclear weapons. It's not about that. It's about they want regime change. They want Iran to be another Afghanistan, another Syria, another Iraq, completely destabilized, dysfunctional, weak, impotent, so Israel can then go forward with first ethnically cleansing the Palestinians, annexing 100% of historic Palestine, and then indefinitely expanding their border.
War with Iran, covering up Jeffrey Epstein, taking money from Miriam Adelson, Netanyahu's top officials working inside our government. Is this the Bush administration or is this the Trump administration?
Yeah, I forgot to mention he also signed the Abraham Accords, which I'll be brief here. It was with the UAE, Bahrain, Morocco, and Sudan. You got those four countries to completely forsake the Palestinian cause in exchange for a military and economic alliance with the United States. And to do so, he had to use U.S. taxpayer dollars as bribes to get those countries to normalize relations with Israel. They otherwise would not have done so. So that's where your taxpayer dollars are going to.
It's a valid question. And so as the year dragged on, these divisions and tensions came to the fore. Tucker Carlson became increasingly vocal against the war in Iran. I achieved a generational run, in part because of my vocal criticism and my correct prediction that we would enter a war with Iran. And we have been met with nothing other than attacks, slander, cancel culture from the Israel First wing of the Republican Party. All of them Jewish, most of them, I should say. Mark Levin, Ben Shapiro, Andrew Klavan, Dave Rubin, Seth Dillon, Joel Berry. They started calling us woke right or woke Reich, like the Nazis. They said we're anti-Semites. They said we work for Qatar. We work for the Islamists. They said this because we want to put America first. Why? We want no more foreign aid. We want the genocide to stop. We don't want to enter a regime change war with Iran. We don't want to give Israel $12 billion. We want to get to the bottom of the Epstein files. For this, we were called Qatari spies, Muslim Islamists, woke right, anti-Semitic, Jew haters. This is how it started.
Woke right is just anybody who opposes Israel's ceaseless war machine. Anybody who opposes our superfluous wars in the Middle East or overexpansion or overcommitment. We got bogged down in all those wars. We didn't win any of those wars. They were fruitless. We got nothing from them, but we got more blowback terror on our homeland. We engendered anti-American hate. ISIS came to fruition. The leader of Al-Qaeda is now the president of Syria. That's the culmination of the war on terror. You have David Petraeus, the disgraced former head of the CIA under Obama, which is when this coup of Bashar al-Assad started, culminated in 2024. Now Mohammed al-Jilani is the president. He's literally a bin Ladenite. He's a head chopper. He's an Islamist. He's a terrorist. He's a jihadist. We backed him to overthrow secular Bashar al-Assad because he was allied with Iran and he would fund and aid and abet Hezbollah, historically Israel's most formidable terror opponent in the region. So, all those wars were for Israel. They're the only country that benefited. Obviously, we put it under the guise of nation building, but we left these countries in instability. They're worse. They were better off the way they were than us intervening and completely destabilizing their country, destroying the infrastructure, creating a refugee crisis, sectarian violence, anarchy. Think about Libya. Think about Sudan. Think about Somalia. Countries of no strategic importance, of no strategic threat to the United States, yet we intervened and wasted money, cost people their lives, destroyed their homes, destroyed their livelihood, created a refugee crisis in Europe. Who benefited, though?
And over the summer, it became undeniable that I was rapidly ascending and becoming one of the biggest names in conservative politics, right there with Tucker and Candace Owens. And you have a situation now where these are like your top three. The triumvirate, the biggest properties, the biggest shows on the right wing right now, it's no longer Ben Shapiro, if you look at his ratings. It's no longer Jordan Peterson. The top three, the ones with the most motion, the most dynamic, the biggest shows, the biggest views, the hottest guests. It's probably Tucker, Candace, and this summer, me. And so the Israel First right is freaking out. What's more, you're starting to see that there is an element inside the Trump administration that is very sympathetic to me and my views, as well as Tucker, Candace, and the things we're saying. And I want to say this at the beginning. Let's not forget what really precipitated this. A couple of weeks ago, Gavin Wax, a Jew, a delegate for the Zionist Organization of America, descendant of Holocaust survivors, friend of the Democrat Chuck Schumer. Gavin Wax is working in the State Department. His boss is Darren Beattie, another pro-Israel Jew. Gavin Wax leaks to the liberal media a group chat where about a dozen or so young Republicans are making edgy jokes, some of them about Jews in Israel. A month after Charlie Kirk is murdered and his assassination is celebrated by the left, you have a Jewish Israel First conservative, Gavin Wax, working under another Jewish Israel First conservative, Darren Beattie, feeding young Republicans into the wood chipper, getting them canceled, blowing them up by sending their edgy group chat to the left-wing media. They all lose their jobs. They all get fired. They're getting death threats right now. They have families.
When are we going to hold Victoria Nuland accountable? Obviously, she's the wife of Robert Kagan. She is partially responsible for the coup of Ukraine that's resulted in 2 million dead Ukrainians. She was involved in overthrowing Viktor Yanukovych's neutral government. He was rejecting NATO. He was forming closer ties to Russia, and that kind of motivated the Maidan Revolution with these extremist Ukrainian nationalists protesting. But the CIA, once we see chaos in the country, once we see a potential insurgency, CIA will go covertly aid, abet, train, give intelligence, and arm them. USAID funds. That's what they did. And Victoria Nuland, she chose the Ukrainian nationalist government, which is currently in place, the pro-NATO government. She chose it. And that's evidence corroborated by the fact that the Russian intelligence agency intercepted her phone call with the U.S. ambassador in Ukraine, where she picks the next government, essentially. So when are we going to hold her accountable? When are we going to hold Secretary of State Hillary Clinton accountable? She got us into the war in Libya and Syria, for that matter. What about George W. Bush? What about all these Israeli spies? Richard Pearl, Paul Wolfowitz, Douglas Feith, Larry Franklin. When are all these guys going to be held accountable? But it's because of our rhetoric, our private group chats, we're held accountable. We lose our livelihood. We make an infinitesimal amount of money juxtaposed to what these clowns make. Victoria Nuland is making 6 figures at Columbia. I don't know what she's teaching. You make a coup, you kill 2 million people. Your decisions got 2 million people killed, and now you get to be a tenured professor at a preeminent university, Columbia University. There's no retribution, right? You had hope that Trump would, engage in some, and he has, to be fair, with some people like John Bolton, but there needs to be more. These people are war criminals.
I know some of them. They're married, they have young families, they're getting death threats and doxxed at their house because an Israel first conservative in the administration doxed them to the left because maybe they don't have the right opinion on Israel. And Gavin Wax is protected. He did not get fired. He will not get fired. A week later, Paul Ingrassia, former influencer, he's a lawyer. He was nominated for a position in the office of the special counsel.
I don't care what you say. He may be racist as hell. He can be as racist as he want to be. Whenever this dude talk, he drop bombs on their ass. He drop bombs on all they ass. Whenever he talk, whenever Candace Owen talk, they drop bombs on those people because they know how to read them. And he's telling the truth, and it even sound true what he's saying. That Trump is already bought and paid for by Netanyahu and everybody else. It sound true.
Has to get confirmation from the Senate to get the post. They throw everything at him. A fake sex scandal, which doesn't even make sense. They said he shared a hotel room with a girl. Okay, big whip. Then his group chat becomes public where he's talking about the Jews and the Indians. Why do you think he got canceled? Because once upon a time, he wrote an article saying that I should be reinstated on Twitter. He's friends with Andrew Tate. Both of us have criticized Israel in the past. So Paul Ingrassia, his nomination, his confirmation hearing was sabotaged by another group chat leak from one of his friends, from people betraying him in the White House. This happened simultaneously as Larry Ellison and his son David Ellison buy TikTok, and they buy Paramount, and they buy Warner Brothers, and they buy CBS. And they do it in a partnership with Bibi Netanyahu to erase and censor all Israel criticism on those social platforms and in those media companies. That's their explicit intent. Netanyahu meets with a group of influencers and says, this is the 8th front in our war against Iran. We have to win over the hearts and minds of Americans by censoring all the criticism of our country. The other major development is that in the aftermath of Charlie Kirk's death, we find out that even he seemed to be coming our way. Even though Charlie Kirk was my mortal enemy in life, even though he was my political opponent, he called me vermin and tried to destroy my career, even he was coming my way and doubling down on his defense of Tucker Carlson and even Candace Owens. Because he, like everybody else, was being bullied by the pro-Israel, Israel first wing of the conservative movement. They said he wasn't doing enough to support Israel. He wasn't canceling Tucker. He wasn't doing a good enough job defending Israel on his campus tour. So they were taking money from him, browbeating him at fundraisers, and even he was going in the other direction.
Yeah, you can't have any dissension on Israel on any of these mainstream media sites, such as Fox, CNN, all these MSNBC, right? Look at Rupert Murdoch. He's a staunch and ardent neocon. He funded Bill Kristol's magazine, The Weekly Standard, this neoconservative publication, heavily funded by Rupert Murdoch. You get shit canned if you speak out of line as pertains to Israel on Fox News. And they're just like it with everybody else. You have to toe the line because they believe that their money can buy them everything. Now, this makes people suspicious. They're like, okay, he was nearing some type of transformation, some type of conversion. He was obviously changing his mind on Israel or getting closer to it. Assassinations are not peculiar, right? Bibi Netanyahu, the widow of Yitzhak Rabin, who signed the Oslo Accords in 1993, which was a peace process that would have culminated in the end of the occupation in Gaza, West Bank, East Jerusalem, and the establishment of an independent, autonomous Palestinian state. Obviously, Bibi is opposed to that. He's from the hardline Likud party. He was seen in 1995 carrying a coffin with Yitzhak Rabin's name on it. He called him a traitor publicly. The widow of Rabin believes that Bibi played a direct role in her husband's assassination. I'm just putting this information out there. Ukraine. I think Ukrainian intelligence is part of it as well, because there is a battalion from the Ukrainian front lines fighting in this war. They put Charlie Kirk's name on a hit list, as well as other people like Scott Ritter, a former UN weapons inspector and Marine, who's a dissident as pertains to the Ukraine-Russia war. But this is what they do, so who knows? Could it be a combination of Ukrainian intelligence and Israeli intelligence? I don't know. Mossad is very sophisticated. I mean, they're not telling us the real story. Obviously, the FBI is lying. Nobody believes that bogus story they're throwing out at us.
Y'all may not like him. You may not like him, but he comes out with them bombs. He lays those bombs on those people. I got one more video, okay? And this is wild. Okay? Hold on. This is the most wildest one. Cause I'm like, really? Is this what they doing? Over in this what they doing? Hold on. Because y'all don't I can't tell whether this boy got some stuff going on or not. But they be bending the knee. They be really bending the knee on some of these things. And Nick Fuentes be having these people shook. This is wild. Okay? So I just want to
and JD Vance
want this last one.
And Tucker Carlson and a bunch of other stuff today, because this is a crazy story. I was doing the story about Erica Kirk and JD Vance's intimate embrace on the stage. And as part of that video, I stumbled into the current conflict between JD Vance and Nick Fuentes. And I found an unbelievable story that came out of Nick Fuentes doing Tucker Carlson, and something that just happened at the Heritage Foundation yesterday. And this is the kind of thing that really, if you're a person like me that independently looks at these things, I generally stay out of certain types of conversations, because I don't know. I try to stay away from very, very powerful entities that can, really go around with your life. But when you look at this particular story, it's like, if I was going to speak directly to them, I'd be like, you can possibly make yourself look worse, foreign country in question. Now, that said, JD Vance apparently does not have the same policy as I do, because if he thinks that this guy over here does not have the ability to keep him potentially out of the White House in 2028, he would be incorrect. And he chose war with that guy right there that we're going to be talking about a lot in this video. We are going to start, though.
So JD Vance said, I don't care what Nick Fuentes say, I'm going to do what I want to do. Y'all notice that the way that Erica Kirk hugged JD Vance, right? Y'all notice that. Then y'all notice that JD Vance has been criticizing his wife. JD Vance has been criticizing his own wife. I wish she would become a Christian like me. I wish she would do this, that, and the third. Criticizing the wife. Hugging on Erica Kirk. Look at the way they hug each other. Something is going on. So I'm listening. I'm keeping my ear to the ground on what the hell is going on, shifting. So this is what we're going to get from Nick Fuentes. What Nick Fuentes says about this.
A lot in this video. We are going to start, though, with the Erica Kirk and JD Vance intimate embrace, which has lit the world on fire that everyone is so interested in. And then we're going to get into the very
We're interested in the fact that there was a hug between JD Vance and Erica Kirk, because it doesn't look like a regular everyday friendly hug. It looks like it's more. And JD Vance had just criticized his wife not a couple days before. I heard JD Vance say that he wished his wife would come over to Christianity with him instead of staying with the Hindi. And we already saw Ramaswamy get roasted. He got his nigga wake up call when he went over there to that what is it called? Charlie Kirk's organization. When he went over to Charlie Kirk's organization talking about he want to be the governor of Ohio, and they gave him his nigga wake up call, Ramaswamy, because he's a Hindu and he's a Hindi too, and JD wife is a Hindi. They don't like them Hindi. They don't like it.
meat and bones of this whole thing, because really I just want to put a little bit of space in the video between right now and when we start talking about that, because it's a touchy subject with people who are watching, and I mean the platform, etc. But also because candidly everyone has been talking about this moment right now anyway, right?
Look how she got her hand. Look how she got her hand between behind his head. Look at the way they hugged.
Erica Kirk crossed the line with JD Vance. Can we expect this to be the new second lady because JD Vance's wife won't convert to Christianity? That is what they're saying online. And then, Erica Kirk wore leather pants. She put her hand all through JD Vance's hair. And it was, listen, dude, I'm not joking about this. The internet has been set ablaze. Okay. Look at this. Pack it up, Usha. JD Vance and Erica Kirk's claw in hair hug sparks wild divorce theory. Oh my God. I can't believe it. This article is bananas, and I will read you some of it in a second. That is actually how they put me.
Well, you don't need to read it to me because I don't want to hear that part. That's not the point. The point is we want to hit a rant from Nick Fuentes and what he says. So
that's what we're going to talk about right now. So let's start right here with what Nick Fuentes said about JD Vance on October 30th, and then I'll show you what JD Vance said back on October 31st with a lot of relevant context in between. Okay, watch this.
And I'm telling you this right now, and you need to be with me on this. You need to raise your right hand right now. If JD Vance condemns the Groypers, if JD Vance signals to the Israel First lobby that he is condemning the America First movement, then we will not vote for him. We will not support him. And as a matter of fact, we will show up in Iowa and then New Hampshire and then Nevada and South Carolina to make sure that he never gets the nomination. That's the only way we can play this.
He ain't gonna get the nomination anyway, because according to him, he thought he was bisexual or he thought he was gay. You need to read his book. His book said he thought he was gay. I believe his wife is a beard. I believe his wife is covering for him, but he really is tutti frutti. And a lot of people think that. In his book, he said he thought he was gay. You need to read his book. So he ain't gonna become a president once people figure out what the hell he said in his book.
Because the Israel First lobby and the $7,000 club, they are going to be on his ass. Yeah. And they're going to be all over him, telling him, if you don't disavow them, if you don't tell us that you stand with us, we will not give you money. We will attack you. They're going to come for him hard. And there's going to be such a strong incentive for him to condemn America First.
I know.
And he might say, I condemn anti-Semitism. I condemn the Groypers. And he might have some reason for that.
Right.
But we'll know what the message means. It's a signal.
Right.
And the signal is, I'm with Israel first.
Right.
Now, JD Vance, I'll tell you this. You don't like me, I don't like you. But if you cross that red line, I promise you, I swear to God, I will be there in Iowa with 10,000 Groypers, and we will be at every event. We will be at every event.
Mm-hmm.
And we will be doing events of our own, and we will be knocking on doors, and we will be spending money. I'll be raising money to do it. Many will do it for free. You think they're a pain in your ass? We'll be a bigger pain in your ass because there's more of us and we want it more. They have the clocks. We have the time. Cross that red line, we will be your worst enemy. Politically. Important to clarify.
Okay. So I think that message was pretty clear. And
Nick Fuentes has got his chest stuck out. He got his chest stuck out. He's saying, you cross me, and I'm going to tear you down. I'm going to show all parts of my ass. I'm going to show all parts of my groper ass if you cross me. This is what Nick Fuentes said. And look what happened the very next day. That dumbass JD Vance said this.
I think that his implication is pretty straightforward, right? And this is all going to come into play very, very shortly.
Hey, I love this Republican infighting. I love it.
And again, I don't talk about that country, man. I don't. But I'm not going to need to, because what happened here is so obvious. Okay. Now, this is the next day.
The next day.
This is the next day. So it didn't take.
Here go JD Vance talking about Nick Fuentes and the Gropers.
Take very long for this response to come out. Okay. And then we're going to look at another person's response related to the Tucker Carlson interview and what happened to him. Okay. Watch this.
In your own movement, that's what I want to ask about, because one of the supremacists who was saying things like this about your family.
Yeah.
Nick Fuentes, an avowed anti-Semite,
Sure.
went after your wife. He had previously dined at Mar-a-Lago with.
Is that true though? Like, I mean, listen, I'll be honest. I might be wildly ignorant about this, but it is, I mean, because this is the thing. This is the reason why if you call people names constantly, if you're always calling everyone a Nazi, you're always calling people anti-Semitic, or you're always calling people racist, I don't know when I am supposed to take it seriously, because it has.
Yeah. See, I'm one of the people that know how to decipher between what a racist is and what they say. It don't bother me that you're a racist. I listen at the content. I listen to what you say. I listen to what you say and listen to what you do. I can decipher between a racist and a person that's saying the truth. He's a racist, but it don't bother me because I don't care what you think. I only care about what you're saying and how it affects the UN or the United States. That's as far as I care. People care about racist people. You ought to care. He's dropping bombs on what they're doing behind the scenes. I'm not saying, maybe you just want to, okay, I get it. I keep forgetting is some of y'all just want to live in the dark. Y'all don't want to know nothing. You want to see nothing. You don't want to know nothing. You don't want to know the background of nothing. You just want to believe what you want to believe when you see it in the news. I get all that. I'm not one of those people. I like to know what the hell happened behind the scenes, who got caught talking to the Israeli people, who got caught talking to X, Y, and Z. So this person seems to have some insight into that. So I'm letting people know he's racist. I don't care whether he's racist or not. He don't bother me. He don't mess with my day-to-day life. Just like gay people don't mess with my day-to-day life, just like trans people don't mess with my day-to-day life, I don't give a damn what you do over there. You can talk to me. I have a conversation. I don't give a damn what you do over there. Regardless of whether you're racist, he knows information. Y'all need to get into the game. Stop getting racist, gay, trans, all that. Stop. Start getting into the game and seeing what the hell is going on in this world.
been a lie the last 150 times that it has been said about people. Because genuine racists, genuine anti-Semites, genuine white supremacists are not even in the conversation, because regular people do not follow people like that. They don't listen to people like that. They don't take them seriously. Right. A person who will discuss intelligently things like, as an example, in our movement, we think it's important that our own country comes first. As long as everything's going good in our country, then we can start looking at what's going on externally, regardless of what country it is. We want to make sure everything is locked down here. And if they notice that things are being prioritized in another country, and then they speak about that country potentially, wielding unreasonable power over specific people in our government, or lots of them, that's not being there's no name to call that other than an American who is concerned about America. Right. Okay. So again, when they call him these names, it's possible he's exactly that. And I just came to the party super late. I've probably watched a grand total of like maybe an hour of his content, of him speaking, maybe 2 hours. I think he's real sharp, dude. He's real sharp. But I don't know. Is that verified? Is that what he is? A white supremacist? Like, he doesn't sound that way to me anyway.
With Donald Trump, does this have any room in your movement, in the MAGA movement?
Of course it doesn't have any room in the MAGA movement. And of course,
you disavow him and this.
And of course, Donald Trump has criticized this person. Look, I think the guy's a total loser. Certainly I disavow him. But if you ask me what I care more about, is it a person attacking me personally, or is it government policy that discriminates based on race? That's what I really worry about.
It's a good answer. I think it's short-sighted, though. And I think that unless he's not like, if you're reading the writing on the wall, like, this kid's not going anywhere, man. Like, they have tried to do it. Like, dude, he couldn't even fly on a domestic flight for a while. They put him on the watch list, or like, he wasn't allowed to fly. He doesn't have a channel anywhere except, like, they did everything to deplatform this guy. I'm sure he has problems with banking, whatever, and he's still this relevant. There's only one reason for that, is because he is that talented and he is that impactful when he speaks. Like, the guy's not going anywhere, and galvanizing someone, or like a person who can galvanize a group the size that he can, and calling him out like that. Listen, in fairness though, Nick said some pretty nasty things about his wife, where that would be a hard line in the sand for me as well. Bottom line, it's like, dude, you talk about my wife, like, I'm not going to be like cordial towards you. Right. I probably, though, if I prioritized my own victory in the U.S. presidential election, and not because I'm so excited about myself being president, but because I think that it's so important that we retain control of the government, I probably would just, I'd just avoid it altogether, because it is important that he wins versus Gavin Newsom, as an example. You know what I mean? But anyway, so coming back to this, right? This is just another clip of him being like, "Don't talk about my wife," right? But I actually think that he did this really well.
But we don't care about your wife. You burnt yourself up. Okay. Anyway, I guess that's the last of the clip. But he burnt himself up. Nick Fuentes said, "Don't cross me. Don't disavow me. Don't put me out to the pasture. Don't try to cut me up." And what did JD Vance do? Cut him up. There is going to be so many people coming for JD Vance. JD Vance better not even put his leg into the race to try to be no president, because you will not make it. Because that's all we're going to do is put a straight guy up against him, and it's over. A straight white guy, 40 to 50, we're going to put him up against JD Vance, and it's over. Okay? Jeb Common, please grow up. Why don't you please grow up? Why is it that every time we get in the chat, somebody's talking about gay shit? Why is that? Every time we get into a chat, we get here, somebody's talking about some gay stuff. Stop talking about gay stuff. Nobody cares about gay stuff. Gay people are regular individual people. They can live their life wherever they want to live their life. This not the channel where y'all come over here and just gay, trans. I don't care about those people. Those people have a life just like I do. If you have a problem with those gay people, then you need to talk to those gay people outside of here. But I don't have anything to do with, I'm not platforming and I'm not having an argument against somebody about somebody being gay. I'm not having an argument with you all about somebody being gay. Oh, I'm sorry. I dropped the link. Who was that Herb person? His name is Herb. Was he spamming the chat? Yeah, his name was Herb. And he told me to drop the link last time. I dropped the link. Where you at, Herb? Wherever. Somebody wanted to come up and say something to HQ. Somebody had something to say to HQ. So I dropped the link so you could so you can pull up. What did you have to say to HQ? They told me to drop the link. So I'm dropping the link. Okay. We dropping the link. Yeah, he always spamming the chat. Now he ain't nowhere to be found. Because he said he needed to come up and say something. So did somebody else. I don't have no problem having a conversation with you all. The whole point, that's the whole point of the platform. The platform is to become informed. Okay? That's the point of the platform, is to become informed. Not for y'all to walk around like zombies. Not for you to walk around like zombies like you don't know. Like you don't know there's things that are going on out here in the world. And I, with my best conscience, I can't let people roll around and think what they think is the truth. And what they think is right. And what they think, just go around and be goofy. How you going around just being goofy and you're not telling the truth? And you're not listening to the truth. You don't want to hear the truth. You just want to talk. Or you want to beat me up because I'm telling you the truth. That don't even make no sense. Okay? So I'm saying, come up, hit the link if you want to, talk about whatever you want to talk about. This is an open panel. Oh shit. Men just think differently than women. Black America, every time I talk to you, talking about somebody gay. That's a you problem. That's not everybody else's problem. That's a you problem. Okay? That's a serious you problem. You need to speak to somebody about that. Because if that's just rattling around in your brain, I know it don't jib. The only thing that makes sense to you is the MAGA shit. That's the only shit that makes sense to you. Okay. So anyway, I presented the what is it called? Presented the poll numbers. The poll numbers, in a nutshell, the poll numbers are: Trump's approval rating is 37%. So his approval rating is 37%. And every demographic has swung away from the Republican Party. Every demographic. White males are moving slowly. Women are horrified. White women are horrified, and they're moving away slowly. Hispanic people are moving away as soon as they can, because you started deporting their people. You started deporting their people. You started deporting their family members. You started deporting them, and they moving away in droves. Well, black people, yes, it is true. We just went over some stats. You just don't know, Jib. You can't present no facts on your side. So please, long as you can't present no facts, I don't listen to people just saying it's not true. Okay. The most demographic that moved towards the Republican Party were black males between the age of 18 and 27. 18 and 27. And they're moving away from the Republican Party slowly. The 18 to 27 year old men. Because just too much. She's doing too much. According to them, he's doing too much. And the black women never were on board with Donald Trump. Black women, most black women can see a shyster a mile away. Most black women can. We can see bullshit from a mile away. And we voted at a 92% clip. Okay. We voted at a 92% clip. No, it wasn't a CNN poll, hon. Sorry. That wasn't a CNN poll. So we have what we have going on. So if the trend continues the way that it is going, because on all fronts, this president he's done something to this country. He has done something to this country, and it's not a good thing according to a lot of people, in polls. Are we going in the right direction? Every poll that I read said no. Cutting off that EBT, cutting people off in they cut. Y'all wanna continue to support this president. Go ahead, continue to support this president. HQ, now I know you crazy. You saying black women have discernment. Black America, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I can't be fighting them and you, Black America. What is going on? You one of the people I'm gonna have to. What are you talking about? I'm supposed to be answering their question, not yours. I'm not supposed to be fighting you. You my moderator. What the hell is going on? So HQ, now I know you're crazy saying black. So my whole point is black women voted for Donald Trump. Black women shunned Donald Trump at an 8%, at a 92% clip. 92% black women voted for Kamala Harris, or they voted for somebody else. They did not vote for Donald Trump. Black women don't like him at all. Didn't like him at all. We saw through him ABC. Okay? We saw through him post-suite. Okay? So the polling has shown, and the most reliable group, right? The most reliable group is most reliable group. Let me see. The most reliable group is the independents. The independents have moved away from Trump down to a single digit 30, what is it? 17%? Down to 17, and they voted for him at a 49% clip, 47% clip. They're down to 17% support for Donald Trump, which means they're the people that decide elections, these independent people. And if they decide that they don't want Donald Trump, it's over. And right now, if we had the election today, we would win the House, the Senate, and the White House. If we had the election today. That's how bad the polling is for. That's how bad the polling is for the Republicans and Donald Trump. Okay? That's how bad the polling is. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying, look at all the polling. Donald Trump's approval rating is 38%, 37%. He can't run for a third term. He can't run for 2028. That's impossible. It's in the Constitution, so he can't run for another. Election. So if he can't run for another, and God, please don't let Kamala run. Please don't let that Kamala person run. Don't let her run. Hey, I love you, sis, but you need to go on back where you came from. We know who we are going to elect. We're going to elect us a white boy, clean cut, married, kids, all that, and we're going to blow the Republicans out of the water. We just need to give him the right script. Okay? He's not around 47%. He's around 37%. Get it right. Look at your polling. Okay? So this is where we're at in the polling, and it's because all of the things that Donald Trump has been doing. All of the things that Donald Trump has been doing. He's gotten us into war. He got us into war. He went. Nobody listened to that damn video. Nick Fuentes spelled it out for you. He spelled it out for you. He said Donald Trump is bought and paid for. And he's been doing the bidding of Israel ever since. Ever since. Okay? That is the whole point. He's been doing that, the bidding of Netanyahu ever since he got in office. Starting the wars. Giving him money. He's been doing all of that. No, I'm not delusional. I'm sorry, I'm not delusional. I wish it wasn't delusion. I wish it wasn't. Okay? I wish it wasn't. The whole point is for you to do your own research. That's the whole point, to do your own research. Okay? A no-nonsense white boy, clean-cut, married, will blow all of you Republicans out of the water. He just needs a message. The left is trash right now. They don't have a message. They don't have a candidate. Okay? Maybe Gavin Newsom will be the person. Maybe he will. But I tell you what, we Democrats hate the Republicans so much at this particular point because of the thing, because they have drug us to the edge. They have drug us over the cliff. We hate that Republican. So I don't have to keep dreaming, Candace. That's all you got to do is look at the polling. Hello, Oscar. That's all you got to do is look at the polling. The polling says independents are the ones who decide the elections. And if the independents move away from Trump like they have been in droves, they have moved away from, they were the first ones to start moving. As long as they have moved away from the Republican Party, it is gone. It is gone. The Republican is gone. Like the man said, you guys are going to be lucky if we only take 20 seats from the House. I'm hoping we take the House and the Senate because there's been no pushback on the Republican side. The MAGAs don't have no pushback. You have no pushback. You have no spine. You have nothing to stand on. That's the problem. Okay? Because if you had pushback, you would have been pushed back on this president. The minute he started a war in Iran, the minute he gave money to Netanyahu, the minute he gave money to Argentina, the minute he broke the law by putting people in jail overseas, by grabbing people off the street based on color, by tearing down the White House without any kind of permission, with demonizing every person that wasn't a white male Christian. Now I'm lying. Now I'm lying. You can't never get through to y'all because you don't listen. Oh, I'm sorry. It's enough of y'all in here. How many of y'all can put into the chat what the big beautiful bill has done for you people between the salary of $30,000 and $150,000? Put it in the tell me what the big beautiful bill has done for the people between $30,000 and $150,000. And while you at it, give me 3 things that Donald Trump lied about. Sure I am, Kenneth. Sure I am, Grace Bomb. GREBASN. Sure I am. Of course I am. But I bet you won't put in the chat 3 lies that Donald Trump told. I bet you won't do that. I'm the sick one, but I bet you won't do that. I bet you can't do that. Please put in the chat what the big beautiful bill has done for you all. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. No, I need them. I need all of these people who call themselves MAGA. All of these people who call. See, here's the thing. The big, beautiful bill, what a lot of people don't connect is Donald Trump and the Republicans cut your Medicaid and cut your food stamps back in June and July. They cut them. They didn't cut all of it because they knew they knew that would be the end. Why do you think that they are trying to gerrymander all of these states so they can change the map, so they can take out the Democrats out of the map and put more Republicans in? Why do you think they're trying to do that? Because they know that they have shitty policies and they know that they're going to lose in the midterms. That's why. That's why. Just look it up. Texas has changed its gerrymandering map. Look it up. Gerrymandering map in Texas. Just look it up and see, has it changed and has it gotten rid of the Democrats and gained 5 Republicans? Got rid of 5 Democrats and gained 5 Republicans. They're doing that because they know that they're going to get swept away in the midterms, because they know their policies are shitty. They know they've been shitty to the American people. No taxes on overtime. That means nothing. That's just word salad for let me fool the idiots. That's all that is. That's all that is. And you notice every person in here that's a MAGA tells me I'm lying, but they don't present any evidence that I'm lying. Because they can't. Because you can't dispute what I said. You just can't dispute what I said. You can't. Because I'm not lying. And I'm not lying. Because you want, I don't know, it's some kind of cognitive dissonance. I don't get what it is, but it is, it is what it is. But here's the thing. You're going to understand it when the midterms roll around. When the midterms roll around, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You don't have to believe me. It's fine. You don't have to believe me. It's fine. I get all of that. You don't have to believe me. It's fine. Okay? Because we already understand. We already understand. Okay? See, Nick Fuentes, even though he's a racist, I believe some of the stuff that he's saying. Okay? Because it sounds exactly like what they're doing in the White House. It sounds exactly like they're doing what they're doing in the White House. Okay? And he seems to put it together. He says, Nick Fuentes, Erica Kirk. Why he says the things that he says, I don't know. Here's what he says about, hold on. Here's what he says about, I don't want to say, I ain't finna play that. I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say something else. I was going to say that Nick Fuentes knew something else, but I'm just going to play this clip. Okay? Let me just play this clip. Hold on. We just going to play this clip. Hold on.
And JD Vance, I do some kind of thing going, y'all. It's weird. Let's go ahead and watch this clip together, though. Here we go, you guys.
There's no other the team that's gonna win. Okay. Why do y'all think his policies are so good that we are all going to love Trump? Why do y'all think that is? Why do y'all think that is? It's not just Democrats. It's not just Democrats that are hating what he's doing. It's not just Democrats. A lot of people said, I voted for him to close the border, but I didn't vote for him to do it like he did it. Y'all just live it. I told you, you zombies just live in a different world. You just live in a different world than the rest of us.
No one will ever replace my husband. No. But I do see some similarities of my husband.
And JD Vance.
And Vice President JD Vance. I do.
Whoa!
And that's why I'm so blessed to be able to introduce him tonight. Because he understands the fight that we're up against. And he can articulate that in a way that transcends race, that transcends demographic backgrounds. He's an amazing man. No one will ever replace my husband.
Nick Fuentes is right about something.
Right.
This lady is a plant. She didn't give a damn about Charlie. Let's get into it, y'all. All right, everybody. What's up? It's your boy AT2 here. Now, we're going to go ahead and do a reaction to this clip that I've seen from Nick Fuentes where he basically calls Erica out for being a plant.
We don't care about deportation, Torn Harris. We want deportation. We would like deportation in an orderly fashion. But what we don't like is people getting videos made of them like they're training videos. People jumping out of planes and airplanes and shit like that. Okay? We don't like that.
And we have been saying this for, well, hell, since Charlie Kirk passed away. The way she's moving and everything like that, and how MAGA and Trump are so involved with Turning Point, and it's just weird. It's very weird. She's not moving like a widow. And let's be honest, how is a widow supposed to move, right? Everybody grieves differently, but they don't grieve like this. I can tell you that. Let's go ahead and get into this clip, you guys. Here we go.
Skeptical on Kirk being killed by Israel. Yet Erica Kirk's mom worked with Homeland Security and DoD. Her father a chairperson/president for Raytheon Israeli Limited. Easy to find online. This same division that coordinated with Lockheed and built the Iron Dome. Now she is PUSA. Watch it become a pro-Israel advocacy group.
Dude, it is a pro-Israel. What are you talking about? What do you think Turning Point is? Do you think this was the Institute for Historical Research? Was this the Charles Martel Society's Stormfront? Iron March? This is Turning Point USA. It is a pro-Israel advocacy group. What are you talking about? Were you born yesterday? You guys, that's the part I can't get over. So you're skeptical about Kirk being killed by Israel. Now his wife is taking over. Watch Turning Point become pro-Israel. Dude, they were Zog headquarters. He's coaching Lord Netanyahu on how to rape America with propaganda. What are you talking about? If Turning Point wasn't a pro-Israel outfit, what is a pro-Israel outfit, huh? That's crazy. To the extent, look, Erica Kirk is a spook. I've seen enough. Erica Kirk is a plant. We all know that. That is a fact. That is basically established. She was shopping around for a political husband. God knows where she comes from. She found one in Charlie Kirk. Do you think Charlie Kirk is the Riz master? He's not a good-looking guy. Dude, you know what she said on a podcast? I saw a clip of her on a podcast, and she said, I can't focus with him in the room because I'm just going to be looking at him. Now, that's some good acting. Now, you had me. Then I saw that clip. You know, maybe you had me when she did the first speech next to his chair. But when I saw that clip and she said, I'm not going to be able to focus with him in the room. He's too handsome. It's like, now that's some bad acting. That is some serious, that is a serious acting job. So I think she's a plant, obviously. But does that mean that they took him out to put her in? Not necessarily. I think that it's a political marriage. She's an operative. He's an operative. He happened to be killed. She's going to take over his responsibilities. It is what it is. I agree. I think she is not who she says she is, because there's all these clips coming out. She's in a music video. She's on these reality TV shows. I'm hearing she dated other people in the conservative movement. It's like, why is it that that's always the background? Alex Clark was on a reality show. Now she's doing a Turning Point show. Charlie Kirk's wife was on a reality show in a music video. Now she's a Turning Point. It's almost like you have these women, or people in general, but especially women, who are with a talent agency, or they're with some agency. They'll do anything to be famous. They'll do anything to get in front of the spotlight. And then they find themselves marrying these like conservative guys or doing conservative political shows. Isn't that interesting? Candace Owens is another one. She's another wannabe fame whore, another clout whore. That's just what she is. She's the ultimate clout whore I've ever seen. You know where she came from? She sued one of her classmates for being racist. Then she started a company doxing people for being racist. Then she became the spokesperson of Blexit. So what is with all these conservative women that they'll do anything to be famous? They stumble into conservative politics.
It's also the men, too, come from acting, reality TV. I mean, you look at the president, Donald Trump. Yeah, reality TV. So it's both the men and the women that got this pipeline to republicanism. It's very weird.
And then they marry into political royalty. Candace marries George Farmer. Erica marries Charlie Kirk. That's what's suspicious about all this. Charlie Kirk was a shill. Doesn't deserve to die, but that's what he was. His wife was put with him in an arranged marriage. That could not be more obvious. With each passing day.
That's the whole point. The whole point is, that doesn't mean just because they're racist doesn't mean that they're not right about certain things. Okay? He's expressing what a lot of people are thinking, Black Wolf. Maybe you ain't thinking that way, but some of us looked at Erica Kirk funny when she first came out. Nobody had seen her, knew her, or whatever, and she came out and she was doing the fake crying, not a tear in her eye, nothing rolling down her cheek, standing by the man's chair. Wow. You wild. Hold on. Hold on.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Why'd you hang up? You hung up. You hung up. You hung up, Black America. What? Nobody's racist here. Nobody said anything about race. Oh, and I love the way talk about race. This HQ is nonstop talking about race this whole chat. You didn't hear me say anything about race. You and your feelings. Get out of your feelings. You're a man. If you're a man, get out of your feelings, because you didn't hear me say anything about white or black all evening long. Stop it. Get out of your feelings. You're a man. Put your big pants on and act like a man, and stop being in your feelings, because I never said one thing about black or white. Never said anything about hating black or white. You all keep saying something about race. I said him being a racist doesn't make a difference to me one way or the other. He can be right when he talks.
Black.
Don't hate the man. He's right.
1. To send a voice.
Yes, Black America.
All right. I'm HQ. I'm not fighting with you. I'm just telling you, men look at things differently than women. We don't care about the same things that you care about. But I do have a question with you because you got this racist guy up here. Would you feel the same way if he was talking this harshly about black people? The way he's talking about them Jews? Would you feel the same way if he was talking about black people like this?
I didn't see anything wrong with what he was saying. He's not sitting here saying those little hat people are X, Y, and Z. He ain't say that.
Well, he can't.
I didn't hear him say anything about that.
Oh, hold on. He can't say that for one because he's online and he doesn't want to get like. This is how he makes his money online, right? So he can't say that.
Right.
Just like us regular straight men can't use the F word to say about gay guys.
Yes,
so
what does him say? I didn't see him say anything that was hateful towards anybody. I heard him speaking facts. What did you hear?
Are you not paying attention to? Okay, so
what did he say that was hateful? No. Tell me what he said that was hateful.
When you say,
I'm
gonna say it.
Okay, go.
I'm about to say it. When he describes Jews as Zionist Jews,
right?
That is hate speech, HQ. Everything that this young man spews out of his mouth.
No. That's hate.
Once again, you don't see it.
He can call them a Zionist Jew. He can call him a Zionist Jew. That's what you consider hate speech. Is a Zionist Jew.
That is HQ. So I'm in the trucking industry. You know that. So I'm around a bunch of redneck cracker peckerwood hillbillies.
Wait a minute, hold on. I thought a Zionist Jew was a person who advocated for the Jewish homeland and everything else in the modern state of Israel. What do you mean? He's going against. He's not denigrating.
That is denigration. I promise you, it is. When they the person
that supports the Jewish homeland of Israel.
When he
does.
No, I know. But what I'm telling you is when he talks like that, that is to denigrate them. You are not understanding that.
Oh, I did very well. You mentioned Zionist Jew. A Zionist Jew is a Jewish person who believes Israel should exist in their homeland. That's what that means. So what do you mean he's denigrating Jews? He's not.
I understand. I understand that. But when a racist white person talks about a Mexican, they say wetback. When a racist white person talks about a Jewish person, they call them Zionist Jews.
Okay, so
I promise you,
I'm not racist against Jews. So I mean, that's the way he's speaking. What am I supposed to say to that? That doesn't mean
no.
Wait a minute, just because a person speaks the way they speak, and he says what he says, he's the one that's speaking like that. I'm not speaking like that. I'm just covering the content of what he's saying. That's a different story. You're making it seem as though I'm supporting this person and all the things that they're saying. I'm saying this person.
I didn't say you supported it.
So what is wrong with listening to what he's saying?
$199.
So what's wrong with listening to what he's saying?
What I'm saying is, if he was talking about a black person, you would not be taking the shit that he was saying as something with you would take it with a grain of salt.
Okay, now what would he do to offend me that I wouldn't take it as a black person?
He okay. What do you mean? What if he was up here and kept saying the hard ER N-word every 4 minutes? What if he was doing that?
Okay.
Would you still listen to him?
then I would be offended, of course.
Yeah,
but,
so
but
that's
but
what I'm,
but
that's
that's
all I'm
still
saying, HQ.
but
Come on, sis.
hold on. But that still doesn't negate what he's saying. That still doesn't mean he's not telling the truth. I'm not offended. He's not saying it to me. I am
That's because you're not a Zionist Jew.
And I don't care whether he said Zionist, whatever, or he said the hard ER. I am looking at the message. I am not worried about how he is interpreting what he's interpreting. I am looking at what he's saying about our country. Just because I don't like the messenger doesn't mean I don't take the message and spit the bones out.
So why is it, right? Now we both don't like Donald Trump, right? You don't like him for the reasons that you don't like him. I don't like him for many other reasons that I don't like him, right? But we both don't like him. Why is it that you can see the things about Donald Trump and say everything, you blanket statement, say everything he says is a lie, but this other racist piece of shit, you can't do that with this other racist piece of shit.
I can do that when people are lying. I can do that with every person that's lying. But this president always lies. He always lies. This person,
I agree, 100%.
Nick Fuentes, I'm not saying he is lying or I'm not saying he is lying. I'm saying he's telling a compelling story that may or may not be true, but most of the things that he has predicted and said have come to be true. So therefore, I would need to listen to some of the things that he's saying.
Like what? Like what? What did he say that
what he said about him? What he said about him, Candace, and Tucker. What he said about Donald Trump. What he said he was going to do if Donald Trump said.
Wait a minute. So what did he say? What did he say about him, Candace, and Tucker that I can either look at in my memory or know from on the internet?
He said they've become the most influential people on the right.
HQ, I know you've been watching politics for a long time, right?
Yes.
And you love politics, but you haven't been watching all of politics.
So what am I not watching?
Well, you don't know that Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens have been very popular for years.
Yes, HQ. I know that.
Okay, so what he's saying is an observable reality. What he's saying is back then when Candace Owens started, she was a pretty black girl that got with a white boy saying all the bad things about black people that white people wanted to hear.
Okay, so
she was denigrating.
So
did you say so?
I said so. I haven't even explored that part of her content. See, you want to throw. You want to throw emotion. No, you want to throw emotion into these words.
It doesn't have anything to do with emotion.
I don't throw emotion into the words. I listen to the words. I don't have emotion. I don't get upset.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with emotions, HQ.
I don't get upset.
It has
people
to do with the content of the person. It has to do with the content of the insides of the person. Me and you probably dislike Donald Trump because we know he is a bad character, right?
I don't understand.
We don't like Donald
I don't
Trump.
understand why you think that I don't have discerning. I don't have discerning. I can discern a person. I understand bad people from good people, and
because
I know how to separate. I know how to separate. You're the one who doesn't know how to separate emotion from the person. I know how to separate the emotion.
What do you mean? How would you say that?
I'm saying I cannot like a human being, but that doesn't mean that they don't tell the truth or have some gems that I can partake from or take and listen to and say that they can be true and they cannot be true. That's like, I can look at people and say that. I can look at Donald Trump and say maybe he told the truth here or there or everywhere or whatever. Of course, there's some things that he said the truth on, but mostly he lies. I know how to distinguish between a bad person and a good person. You make it seem
no. You said
you make it seem though I don't know a bad person from a good person.
Black women. You said black women seen it coming from a mile away. My comment was
yes, we did.
If black women seen it coming, listen. If black women seen it coming from a mile away, they wouldn't be getting pregnant by all of these.
No. We ain't talking about that. Stick to the subject. The subject
I
is
know.
no.
You're
not
talking about black women having discernment
because you're not sticking to the subject. Black women voted for Donald Trump at an only 8%, 7%. No, I'm sorry, 6%, 6%.
Yes, I agree.
And the rest of us voted for him at a 92% clip. So it's safe to say. Hold on. It's safe to say that the bulk of us saw the shitty behavior a mile away.
No, it's because the bulk of the women are Democrats and they voting Democrat.
That's not why we vote. That's not why everybody voted for him. That's not why we voted for him. I'm tired of that trope. I'm tired of y'all saying because a person is black, because a person is a Democrat, because a person is X, Y, and Z, we voted for him. No, we voted for Kamala Harris because she was the better candidate. She had better morals. She had better experience. She had better education. She had a better personality. All around better person than Donald Trump.
Right. So was Hillary Clinton.
We didn't just vote for her because she was a Democrat. We voted for her.
So was Hillary.
Right person.
I understand, but so was Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton.
We voted for her in a large. We voted for her in a large group too.
Right. But what I'm saying is Kamala Harris didn't win because of the platform that she was running.
Wait a minute, no. Stick to the subject. You're asking me why black women voted for Kamala Harris, and I just told you.
Okay.
She had more. She had better moral character. She had better experience. She had more education.
Yes.
She had more experience in the government. She had more experience, and she was a better person all the way around the board. And now,
I agree with that.
And Donald Trump has.
I agree with that.
And Donald Trump has proven that she would have been a better candidate, but she never would have drug us this way. She never would have drug.
No. So, and I understand that she never would have went this way. But HQ, I told you before, I'm a one issue voter, right? I'm an independent.
I can't help what you are. I mean, I can't help that. I can't help you. I can't help you what you are. I'm not a one issue voter.
Right. You care about the homeless. You care about the elderly. You care about the children, and you care about the veterans. I understand that. I said I don't have a problem with that. We all have the things that we vote for, and what I'm telling you is, men, we don't think like you guys as women.
Black America, why did you come up here and argue with me about what? I understand all of that. What did you come up here and argue with me for?
I'm not arguing with you. I'm just coming to tell you that we are not thinking like you guys as women, as far as what we want for the country and what we see.
You black men voted for Kamala Harris at 82% clip, which meant about 16% of y'all voted for Donald Trump. Now
you can't blame me. I didn't vote for him. I told you I did not vote for him.
His approval rating with black men is less than 10% now.
Yes.
People are moving away from Donald Trump because they have seen the horror.
You know, you won't get an argument from me on that. He's a horrible human being.
No, not necessarily. It doesn't matter what his personality is. It matters that his policies don't help working class people, and the Republicans'
No,
policies never have. Their policies
and
never
so,
have.
and that's why I said we vote for people for different reasons. All I care about now, HQ, is that there's two genders. That's the only thing that I care about, that he put into law that we have two genders. I don't care about any of that other stuff. That's the only thing that
why would you come up here and say you only care about genders when you have daughters?
Because
why would you come up here and say that you don't care about anything other than the two genders? The whole point of voting,
they're women.
The whole point in
because
voting,
they're women, and I want them to be treated like a woman. HQ. My daughters are very precious to me.
So why wouldn't you vote in their interest?
I did because I don't believe that women are equal to men.
Why would you vote for just your feelings on great gay people? Why wouldn't you vote for your daughter and for her to have?
It doesn't have anything. It doesn't have anything to do with feelings. It has to do with protecting my interests. My interests are my daughters. I want my daughters to be treated like women. I don't want men in the bathroom with my daughters.
How is it that
my daughters?
So
hold on. I don't want my daughters to have to fight on the front line in the military. I don't want my daughters to have to do things and try and protect themselves like men have to do.
I get it.
Care about my daughters.
That's something.
So I want my daughters.
I don't understand. I get it. It's something that you voted for you. I get it. I don't understand.
I didn't vote for Trump.
I didn't understand it, but I get it.
I didn't vote for Trump.
I mean, I understand it, but I don't. I understand what you're saying, but I don't get it.
What has happened bad? We still have rights to their own bodies, right? You need to go down and get a baby sucked out of you. You still can do that. Nothing has happened to women's rights. Nothing has happened. Nothing detrimental has happened to women.
No. This is an issue.
Has something happened that I don't know about?
I don't think of it as an issue. You men think of it as an issue. I'm not going to argue about where you have fears at, where you have a problem at. It's very rare that you run into a bathroom, you see a big He-Man in the bathroom. It's just very rare that you run across that. So that's not my issue. That's not something I'm going to argue about. My whole point is,
how often are you out and about, or out at clubs, or out at?
I'm out just enough. Most
not playing sports.
I'm out just enough. Most people don't run into.
She said just enough.
Most people don't run into transgenders every day of the week. Most people don't, and we women don't see transgender as a physical threat like you men do. You seem to think there's going to be something other than that. There's men in women's bathrooms all the time, but it's an issue for y'all. I'm not. This is an argument.
Okay.
I'm not.
So I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something.
I don't care about this.
Hold on. I'm gonna tell you something. The biggest trending topic right now is a black woman, and you can type this in: black woman at Gold's Gym gets kicked out because of man in bathroom. It is the hottest thing on the internet right now.
Trans people are less than 1% of the people on this planet. Why am I going to? Hold on. Why am I going to concern myself about 1% of people on this planet? I'm not. That's not my fight. I don't care about that. I don't care whether you show up at the bathroom door. I don't care how it goes. It doesn't bother me. It's not a thing for me because it's so very rare that it would happen that I wouldn't even put that on my dome to even be concerned about. There's bigger fish to fry on this planet than somebody who's transgender. There's bigger fish to fry. We're in wars that we shouldn't be in. We have tariffs that we're in wars that we shouldn't be.
What war are we in?
Whenever Israel feel like starting a war, we're in that war. We're in the Venezuelan war. We're at a standoff from the Venezuelan war, from the Venezuelan people taking that oil. We're at a standoff there. Okay, we're in the middle of conflict. We're in the middle of conflict, and we shouldn't even be in this kind of conflict. That's why.
But nobody's fighting, HQ.
Huh?
Nobody's fighting. I got 4 kids in the military. Remember, nobody's fighting.
The whole point is, it's too many things going on at one time. You're dragging the country
I agree with that.
to a different direction than most of us want to go. The whole point is, nobody wanted to have a strike on no Iran. Nobody wanted that. He said he wasn't going to get into any wars. He said he wasn't going to bring us into any wars. Now we sitting outside Venezuela trying to do a presidential regime change. Now we outside doing presidential regime changes. No. Now you have tariffs put on countries. You shouldn't even have tariffs on countries. So I'm saying
you got what?
I'm saying there are things that this president put in place, put out there, and he's made us feel less safe. It's less safe with the things this president is doing. We're less safe. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying anything else. I'm just saying you feel as though
as a woman how you see it like that.
No, the way you every time we have a conversation, every time we have a show, you bring up trans or gay people.
I didn't bring no trans or gay people up. I just said we think differently.
So I'm saying I don't think of trans or gay people at all because I don't run into them. When I run into them, that's when I think about them. I don't base my voting decisions. I don't base my voting decisions on whether a person is gay, trans, or anything else. I don't vote. I vote for the forwarding and the advancement of the country. I don't vote about things that personally affect me or would affect me like that. I would never vote based on that.
Well,
that's
you said the point is vote your interest.
Yes,
you said you had to vote your interest.
Yes, my interest is making sure that all poor people in this country are fed, making sure veterans are housed, making sure elderly are housed. That's for the betterment of the country, not just me. For the betterment of the country. Some people are one issue voters. You're one issue voter, and I'm saying, you're one issue voter.
That's all I want.
One issue voter.
I want what's best for the country. I want what's best for the country.
So what's best for the country is not for me to focus on somebody who's gay or somebody who's trans. 1% of the community is trans. I am not going to focus on 1% of the community. I'm focusing on.
I understand what's best for your community or what you think is your community. That is your view of it. And that's what I think is best for the community of Black people in general and Black Americans is what I think is. We just have two different ways. Yeah, it ain't nothing wrong with it.
Say what you said was wrong. I said I'm not thinking about what is best for me. I'm thinking about what's best for our country and how to move our country forward.
That's what I'm thinking of, HQ. I'm thinking about my 8-year-old daughter that I don't want her while she's in school to have somebody dressed up like a woman come read her story time.
Right. And
I
think that's
to me, that is what's best for me.
So that's best for you. I'm saying I don't have anything. I don't have anything that's best for me. I don't have anything that's best for me. When I see elderly have housing, that's best for me. When I see veterans have housing, that's best for me. When I see poor kids going to school and all of them get a free lunch, that's best for me. I don't put
those things are good.
In that scenario.
Those things are good too, HQ. There's nothing wrong with those things.
I'm just saying there's nothing wrong. I'm saying there's nothing wrong with any of that. I'm saying nothing is wrong.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm saying the only.
I don't disagree with you.
I'm saying the only party that is concerned about that are the Democrats. The Republicans don't care about that because otherwise the Republicans
and
would
I agree with you there.
The Republicans
I've never disagreed with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never disagreed with you on any of those things. I never disagreed with you on any of those things. I understand that they have some of the better interests for people at heart, at mind. The scope is too broad.
Everybody says free. Everybody says free. The Democrats want free shit. The Democrats want free shit. But you know what?
Oh yeah.
I'd rather have a party that wants to give the people free shit than to have the party starve the people because they don't want to give them food stamps. I'd rather be with a party.
I did just see a thing that say they're gonna give like 22 million, or everybody's just gonna get like half of their EBT or something like that. I'm not 100% sure how that's gonna work, but
I don't understand what they're doing. Why they just couldn't give these people their food stamps what's the point? See, here's the thing. What is the point in giving people half of their food stamps? Why you just don't give them all their food stamps?
I don't, because you know what's going on in Vegas right now, HQ? People are running out the grocery stores. And I'm sure if it's going on in Vegas, it's going on all over the country. And so what's going to happen is somebody's going to get actually hurt. And the one thing when I had a security company, the one thing that I always said is I would never hurt or try to stop anybody that's looking to feed themselves.
Yeah, but here's the thing. People wouldn't be running out in the street with food if they had their food stamps. People wouldn't.
100%.
So I'm saying, why not just give people their food stamps and leave it alone? Don't hold the regular people hostage because you two have a disagreement in Washington. Don't hold us hostage.
The regular people are stuck in the middle. I agree with you on that. The regular people are stuck in the middle.
When I say America first, that mean right off the bat, that means you stop giving money overseas and you fund these people their food stamps. You give these people their food stamps. Don't have no conversation about it. Don't be holding nobody hostage. Don't be talking about, well, the Democrats don't want to give y'all food stamps. If y'all get food stamps, y'all can't get Medicaid. Y'all can't get y'all medical if y'all get food stamps. Don't be doing that to the people that live in this country. And yet and still you giving $40 billion to Argentina. Don't fucking stop food stamps.
Yeah, well, that Argentina thing was stupid, and I do believe in you have to go for what's in the best interest of the American people, and in the same breath, keeping our foreign power and stuff going. That is what, to me, as an America First agenda type of person, that is what's important to me. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump down. Somebody else call up and give HQ a couple of words or something. And hit the like button. Why y'all can't hit the goddamn like button, you mother hubbards?
Yeah,
hit the damn like button.
They like to hit the hate button and then try to get my video flagged. Unfortunately, I'm not saying anything that's hateful, so they can't flag my video. That's the problem. They like to do that. They like to hit the hate button, but they can't do nothing about it because I'm not speaking hate. All right, thank you, Black America. Thank you.
All right. I'm gonna jump back down.
Okay, thank you. But here's the thing. We have an issue with both of these parties. First of all, I would change, Willie Willis, that's the problem with you MAGAs. That's the problem with you MAGAs. Every time somebody says the truth and you don't like it, you call it spreading information. When I say Donald Trump lied 10 times this week, the first thing out of y'all mouth is, Oh, she lying. She lying. Ain't did no facts checking. Ain't checked nothing. Ain't did nothing. Y'all don't have no pushback whatsoever for this president. No pushback whatsoever. That's what I don't like. That's why you all don't need to be in charge of this government, be in charge of this country. That's why Republicans don't need to be in charge of the country, because they don't have any pushback for their leader. They don't have any pushback for their leader. And that's the whole point of having a good leader. You're supposed to push the leader in a direction that is good for the country. When 63% tells you that they didn't like him tearing down the White House, what does that tell y'all? Do y'all read that? You zombies read that as something different other than we don't like the fact that he tore the White House down? Do y'all read that any different? I don't understand. Y'all don't understand when 62% say they don't like the White House being torn down. Do y'all get that? Or you still in zombie land? I don't understand. I don't understand. But the good news is the Republicans are going to be they're going to be doing their own infighting, and we're going to take back the House and the White House and the Senate and the House, and then the White House and then the Senate. That's the good news. If trends go the way that they're going, because they need to be gone. The only reason why they need to be gone, see, I wouldn't even have a problem with the Republicans staying in power if the Republicans knew how to push back on their president. But they don't stand for anything. So, seeing as how they don't stand for anything, they don't do any pushback for anything. No, I don't need to be, yes, I'm delusional. I'm a libertard, but I'm right. That's the thing. Why don't y'all call her names? Why don't you call her names instead of bringing facts? The telephone line is open. Call up on the telephone line and then present your facts on the telephone line. But you can't present any facts. Okay? Y'all don't have a unified party. And you're not, and it doesn't matter whether you have a unified party or not. What is it called? The independents are moving away from you guys. That's wild. He's tearing down the east wing of the White House. And people don't like that. 62% of the people said they didn't like it. 62% said they didn't like it. So if 62% said they didn't like it, that's not misinformation. Go look it up. That's why I'm saying, call the line. If I'm telling the lie, call the line. 2 out of 3 people said they don't like the White House being torn down. 2 out of 3 people. And I was being generous when I said 62%. Okay? 2 out of 3 people. 62%. Are you?
Call from
Aaron.
Aaron.
Yes.
You said that's not what I said. Are you here to quibble about a couple of percentage points?
I had to quibble about what?
A couple percentage points? I said 62%.
No. I'm not here to quibble about any percentage points. I'm here to discuss accuracy of information. The word you used was he's tearing down the White House. That is not what he is doing. That is misinformation. That is sensationalist speech. What he's doing is demolishing the east wing of the White House with plans to rebuild it. That is not the same as tearing down the White House. When you say a statement like tearing down the White House,
the image that comes into people's head is the entire White House, especially the central portion, the main portion, the portion that's been there forever and a day, has been coming down. That's something someone would do if they're going to run a coup or topple a government. But that's not what he's doing. That's what I said was information. You have to be very careful with the speech that you use.
Okay.
You have to be accurate when you say things like that.
I'm sorry. He's tearing the East Wing down.
He's demolishing the East Wing with plans of rebuilding it. Yes, that is not the same as tearing down the White House. Tearing down the White House is monumentally that is treasonous.
So we misspoke. I misspoke. I said he's tearing the White House down. He's tearing the East Wing down. 62% said they're unhappy about that. He has not.
I'm not debating that.
Has not presented plans for that tearing down. That's why they're upset.
Yeah.
He hasn't presented plans for that.
I'm not debating that. I'm just making sure the information that you're putting out there is accurate. That's all.
Okay. I got it. Okay. Okay. Is that everything?
Hit the like button, y'all.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that was it.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
Somebody called. Thank you. Thank you. Somebody called. Yep. Yes. My bad. My mistake. He's tearing down the East Wing. 62% don't like it because he has not presented any plans like he was supposed to do before he tore it down. They don't like it. Okay. Hello?
Call from
Lynn.
To accept, press 1. To send a voice.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, hello.
Yes. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, my name is Lynn. I should say Mother Lynn.
Okay.
And I'm saying that because I am 4 months away from 70 years old.
Okay.
I'm kind of I'm kind of angry. This is my reason for calling in, and I'm very glad that I was able to get through.
Okay, you're kind of angry. Why?
I'm kind of angry because a lot of the geez. I got my earphones in and I don't like the way it's sounding. Okay, let me just try to just talk and not pay attention to what I'm hearing.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, let me.
Don't worry about what you say. Just don't worry about what you hear. Just if you hear me, but not you. Don't pay attention to you. Because you're hearing double, right? So.
Okay. When I say I'm a little bit angry.
Okay.
Not anymore because I turned it down.
Okay.
All right. And I apologize for that. Anyway, I said I'm a little bit angry, and maybe not a little bit. I should say a lot angry because I don't think that the election would have went the way it has if the older generation, I say my generation, which would be a lot of these 18, 19, 20-year-olds, would be my grandchildren.
Okay.
Okay. And a lot of us have failed in that we have not told them the truth about what Mr. Trump is trying to do. Now, he made it very plain that he wanted to go back.
Right.
Now, I was here with the signs on the sink on the water fountains, the restaurants. It was absolutely horrible. I came along the Jim Crow era.
Oh.
Okay. It was very hard, very, very hard, because there was just a big difference, wherein as a little girl, I knew that certain people were treated differently than myself.
Okay.
And I'm not over that. I don't think you get over it. You go on with your life, of course,
right?
But you don't get over it because your mind is scarred.
Right.
Okay. I think if we would have schooled a lot of our people, let them know exactly what going back
would
be like.
Right.
I don't think you would have had as many,
people that voted for him.
Classes of people, yes, would not have.
Yeah, but see, I get what you're saying, but we did have. If you take the three main groups, of us,
right,
us black women did not vote for Donald Trump. 92% of us voted for Kamala or someone else. So that there was about 5 or 6% that voted for him. Then the black men, it was 82% black men voted for Kamala. And then it was maybe, I want to say 15, 16% of black men that voted for Donald Trump. Then you had the white women who always followed their men. They always followed their men, even though they knew it was to the detriment of themselves. They followed their men in that voting booth, right? The bulk of them, because it was 57% white women that voted for Donald Trump. Okay. Then the Mexican people, Mexican or Asian, Latino, whatever, they already have an inherent dislike of black people because the way they are raised in their country to think of dark people as bad. A lot of them think of dark people. Cuban people think dark people are bad. Mexican people think dark people are bad. It's just something that their culture has ingrained in them for years and centuries and whatever. So we already knew it was going to be an issue, and we already knew Mexican or men such as that were not going to vote for a black woman. But we thought it would be women who would think for themselves, who would think for their best interest and vote for the woman, because they knew she was going to protect their rights and whatnot. But we underestimated that whole coalition. Something told me. But see, here's the thing. When I'm not a person that was on the internet before 2 years ago, right? Because I'm an older woman. So I was not on the internet before 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And when I got on, I immediately knew that there was a source of information that they were all getting, and they were all sort of, I don't want to say zombie-like, because all of the responses were similar and same, specifically from the men. And I'm saying that because the biggest move towards Trump was black men between the ages of 18 and 27. Okay. And I was like, well, we didn't realize that they were even interested in that way with the voting. But when I got on here and I kept hearing the same rhetoric, I was like, where are they getting this when they don't? Have they thought about where their ancestors, what happened to their ancestors, what happened to X, Y, and Z? They don't have that they don't have that ancestral pull that we do.
That's what I'm saying.
They didn't see the whites only sign. They didn't see the colored only signs. They didn't see we couldn't go to this store or that store. They didn't see those things. So therefore, they don't have a tether. They don't have a tie to that, like you and I would have a tie to that. You know what I'm saying? They don't see it as racism. They don't. Well, there can't be racism. It's not there. Do you understand the racism happens today in this environment right now? Oh no, it doesn't happen now. It doesn't happen now. Yes, it does. It's called redlining. You understand redlining, right? You get redlining, right? Housing, they discriminated because of housing. Didn't want to give people didn't want to get people black people loans in certain areas, and then their rates were higher and different and all that. We just had a redlining case last year where they were sued for discriminating against a black group or family or something. Systematic racism still happens, but kids these days don't seem to see that. They don't think they see that at all. So for me to tell a young person, hey, you have to really think about where we came from, what happened, X, Y, and Z, and this white gentleman is not going to put any of your interest at all in his agenda. I could never say that. I could never say that because they would not have listened. And right now, as we speak, I'm on this platform fighting people that are young, saying the most outrageous shit. Kamala, it wasn't black. Kamala wasn't smart. Kamala wasn't X, Y, and Z. Even though she's probably more educated, she's far above educated than Donald Trump ever would be and could be, and articulate though she is. Right?
Yes. Very true. Very true. But there's one thing I want to say about that age group that you were saying, around 18 to 27. They, all right, if they turn 18, 19, whatever, this was their first election. They know nothing. 27, maybe 2 elections. Okay?
Right.
But there was still, it's around 27, you would still have been able to vote for Trump, I believe, the first time around. And then Biden, and then, yes.
Yeah.
So they really don't have any experience, and they keep saying, and I feel so bad for them because they want to believe that they know what they're talking about, and they don't. And it makes them sound so ignorant. You just have to be able to read and comprehend what you read. You don't have to listen to everyone.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're grown, you're able to vote, you should be able to stand on your own 2 feet and make your decisions, not according to your friends and not even your family. You know what I mean?
But we can also see if you listened to the previous caller you listened to the previous caller, he and I, we vote differently, right?
Okay.
We voted differently. Okay. He voted because he says, I voted for no transgender agenda because my daughter doesn't have to get in the bathroom with a transgender person. But he fails to, maybe he does understand, I don't know, that a vote not for Kamala was actually a vote for Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? So
let me just go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just want to say something about that because this is my first time coming across your station, and I'm really glad that I have.
Thank you. Welcome.
Yes. But it okay. It makes no sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
To me,
Mm-hmm.
that a grown person knowing or having lived for a minute, the conditions of the world, I won't say society, the world, and you'll vote for a person based on one issue.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Oh, I voted because he doesn't believe in homosexuality, and I don't either.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to hell. They this, they that.
Mm-hmm.
Or I voted for him because of the border. You know what? That's not enough. You got to put things together.
Right.
Because you're not going to find one that you're not going to find a candidate that you agree with 100%.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, but they pick these little things out.
Right.
But the real reason that a lot of them voted for him,
Mm-hmm.
they won't say it.
Mm-hmm.
They will not say it, but it has to do with racism.
Well, yes, I think it was four things I know for a fact that the Christian nationalists didn't vote for Kamala because of the AB abortion word AB, because that's their standard, that's their line in the sand. The AB is their line in the sand. National Christian nationalists. I mean, I was on some religious channel the other day, and that's what they said. That was their line. AB for them, then the transgender gay thing for some men, then her being black for some people, and then her being a woman for some people. Those were the four main reasons why they didn't vote for her. She was never in the running to win. Okay. She was never in the running. It just was what it was. Never in the running to win. Because you have people see, here's the thing, you said this a moment ago. You said people vote for one issue. Here's the thing. You cannot vote for one issue, because what if the person is shitty all the way down the board, but they got the one thing, and this is the issue, and this is the dilemma that the Catholic nationalists find themselves in. The national women, Christian nationalists, find themselves in. They voted because she was for abortion, so they didn't vote for her. But Donald Trump is a shitty human being all the way down the road. He's just a shitty human being, right? Kamala could be a shitty human being too. But the thing, and then I would have did the deciphering between the two. But her policies wouldn't be war first. She never would have put the tariffs on us like this. She never would have did a lot of things like this. But that's neither here nor there. We cannot relitigate that whole thing. But we hopefully, I do my part, everybody else does their part to inform these people. As you can see, if you came across the chat, if you ran into my channel and you've listened to people in the chat, you can tell they're entrenched in their thought process.
Mm-hmm.
The whole point is to get yourself out of that entrenchment and listen to someone else. This is why I tell them in the chat, I would like to know 3 lies that Donald Trump has told. Can you tell me 3 lies that he's told? 3 of them? I have yet to hear one of them put that in the chat. When I see put 3 lies in the chat, then I know that they're open to, and they're not so susceptible to the Borg anymore. But for now, I'm just hitting the wall, hoping I make a crack or a dent, because it's very important to make that crack or dent before November 2026. Right?
November 2026.
That's the midterms, yes.
Midterms. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So
well, I gotta. It's just something else that I. Well, all right. I'm just gonna go to the book. When I was in the 5th grade, there was a book that the class had to read, and the name of it was The Diary of Anna Frank.
Yes.
And ever since I read that book, I followed a lot of things, pictures, read a lot about Hitler.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to say that before the Holocaust, before it actually got started, there was a there was a beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to tell you, that's what it feels like now, right here. Because there are certain people that don't believe that this or that is going to happen, and it's happening before your eyes.
This is how it happened. This is also how it happened. It was it just crept up on the people.
Yes, exactly.
That's what we want to do. We really want to do that until you had military people in your neighborhood. And here's the thing. Trump just put into place 500 military personnel for each state starting in January.
Okay. I need for people of color, I'm just gonna put it like that, to stand still. I need them to stand still. You see, because make no mistake about it. I'm trying to watch my words, but it's a really, really bad time.
Yes.
For those of color. I don't know how else to say it.
Right.
But you have to be very careful.
Mm-hmm.
Don't play into the game.
Yes.
Don't play into the game. And I worry so much about the young people.
Right. And I have to say to the young people, I understand that they're having protests, but what we can do better than anything is to stay out of the streets and have their back for whatever they need. But we stay out of the streets because we are their covering, because this is what they want to see. Black folks in the street.
That's what they want.
And this is what that's what they want. So, I mean, I can only stress that every once in a while because they're not open to it, because they don't see it, because they don't see the racism. They don't see the remnants of it. They don't see the remnants of it. It just is what it is. I can't make them see it. I can't make, and it's not even the racism. It's more than that. It's a complete disregard of other people besides the rich people that are important.
Yes.
If you're not rich, you're not important enough to even concern yourself about. Just this whole situation with the food stamps is the classic example. Who lets their people starve?
I thought it was Make America Great Again.
Right. Who?
Especially with that, what was it? Is it 400 million or billion that he gave to
40 billion. Yeah, 40 billion. Yeah.
Okay, well that could have took care of the medical situation that that we got going on here.
Right.
I thought it was America first.
If both parties would just do what they need to do to make this country run, make sure people have health care, make sure people have food stamps, skim the fat off the food stamps, get some people off the food stamp, get our homeless in some kind of housing, and get them back being productive human beings, make sure all children can have free lunch. If both parties was committed to that, I could get behind them. But both parties are not committed to that.
No. And that's the Republicans that won't change things. They put out there that, the Democrats want to put insurance or health care. They want to give it to the undocumented. And it sounds so ridiculous, but all of this is coming from a certain station, a certain podcast, and it's unfortunate because it's not the truth.
Right. And I've tried to fight back against it. I've fought back. I put the law in the chat, PRWRA 104 to 193, 1996, that says illegal immigrants cannot get food stamps, Section 8, Medicare, Medicaid. They cannot get that. It's against the law.
That's right.
But you still have people who walk into this chat and say, the Democrats shut down the government so they can give the illegals some money. Well, I can only hit my head against the wall and continue to do this. And, because I'm concerned about the future. I'm concerned.
Yes, very much.
We took the wrong turn. And now we need to turn back.
Yeah. But I don't know how that will turn out with the administration, the government that we have now, which is so pitiful. It really is.
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's as I said before.
Right.
He talked about taking it back. It was better.
Right.
No, it was not.
No.
It was not better.
Well, you and I know. It wasn't better. We know because we were there. I
lived it. Yeah.
I lived it. Lived it to a certain extent, but still. And my parents shielded me from a lot of things, but still. I still remember seeing when we traveled. I still remember seeing some of these things, in shop windows and whatnot. So, and just because someone says racism is over doesn't mean it's not over, because people have implicit biases. People have.
I don't know who in the world would say that. Who in the world would say such a thing?
I don't know.
Racism is over. That sounds so ridiculous.
There's Saint Charlie apparently said it and they believed it. So for some reason.
Well, we're not going to go there because I watched a lot of videos and I felt pain behind it. So I'm not going to go there.
Right.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Right.
But I just, like I said, I just really worry for the young people,
right?
All the young people, black, white, Hispanic, Chinese, Oriental, whatever. I worry about all of them because they're young,
right?
And the generation is, it's many generations behind me,
right?
And it seemed like, I don't know, they're hard-headed.
No, they're just a near trade. They've never seen racism, real racism. They think it's a concept that's not really there because they really haven't seen, and a lot of them can't tell you about systematic racism either. But still there. But they can't tell you about it. And people have been telling them online that no, there's no racism. No. I'm the victim. I'm the white man. I'm the victim. This world was built for white men. And that's all I need to know. All I need to know is it was built for you and it wasn't built for me. So it is what it is. So I act accordingly. But the thing is, you just have to be conscious of what is going on around you. And the young people are not as conscious as we are. And it is what it is. I'm not saying all white people are racist. That's not what I said. I have never said that. Won't say that.
No, absolutely not.
I'm saying we all have implicit biases, and we all need to look at those implicit biases and say, I need to change or check those. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
So
Right.
that's all I'm saying. So give me
Yes.
your final thought, ma'am, please and thank you. What's your final?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
What is your final thought?
Oh, my final thought. I would say that I'm really happy that I got through. That's one thing.
Okay. Well, you're welcome.
And the other thing, yeah, thank you very much. And the other thing is that I'm just going to continue to pray.
Yes, that's all we can do.
Continue to pray. Yes. And I thank you so much for taking my call. And I'll be talking to you again.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Nice
All right.
call.
Everybody have a good night.
Thank
Hit those likes.
Thank
Subscribe.
you. Hit those likes, please.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, hon. Good night.
Hey, good night. Convergence. We were cages. People were in cages and women were subjugated. This country was made for black and white men. Okay.
From
Jordan. Hello, ma'am.
Hello. This Jay.
Hello.
No.
Robin?
Oh, okay. Hello. I'm here.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. Well, I don't know. I disagree with you on a lot of things, maybe almost everything, but that's why we're here to talk about conversations. I disagree about your I think it was your claim about Kamala. She lost because she was a black woman. I disagree. I think it's factually that she lost because she had bad policies and she did not I'm trying to think of the words to use. She did not attract a lot of American voters, so I think she just had bad policies and that's why she lost. It had nothing to do with race because we seen Obama, he won a lot of states.
Mm-hmm.
And
you notice I said she lost because of four things: black woman, transgender issue.
Well, but I disagree with those two things, you black and woman.
Yeah, but according to some of these men that have been up here, that transgender and gay issue was a really serious issue. So,
oh no, 100%. Kamala Harris, she supported tax dollars to transgender operations in prisons, I believed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a good policy, if you ask me.
So that's what I'm saying. The whole transgender thing, that was the thing for a lot of men. And that's why a lot of men, and besides
and women too.
Right. So I'm saying, if you put all of those four things together, because I talked to a couple people that were Catholic, Christian nationalists, and they said their line was the abortion line. So that was a big sweat of people right there, not voting for her because of the AB. And then you have men who are not voting for her because of the gay and the trans issue. Then a lot of men that are not voting for her because she's a woman.
Do you have any data to prove that? Like any studies?
I don't have, I've only listened to people come up here and say these things. That's all.
Well, I guess it's just your opinion, but no, the way I looked at the 2024 election, I did not look at gender or skin color because that does not matter to me. What matters to me is policies and how do you appeal to the American voters and foreign policy as well. And Kamala Harris failed at all of them. She was border czar. She did not take care of the border well. She was not
border czar. She wasn't that. She just was in charge of getting money for the people.
Oh no, she was bad. She allowed 12 million illegals.
You all call her border czar, but she wasn't the border czar.
She was the border czar. She was appointed on immigration. What do you mean? Joe Biden appointed her.
Hold on. She was in charge of getting money from other countries and putting our money together to make sure that these people were able to transfer without fail, without a problem. That was her whole job. She never had a full czar job. She just was in charge of getting money.
According to what?
She just secured money. That's all she did, was secure money for people crossing the border, for making sure that we could get money from other countries to help her with the border problem. That's all she was in charge of doing.
Oh, that's not true. I searched it up. Kamala Harris was tasked with addressing migration root causes and illegal immigration.
She was in charge of getting money for those people that were coming this way.
Oh, she was in charge of immigration.
I mean, we can go back and forth. I'm just saying.
No, it's okay. We disagree. We disagree on that.
I mean, I've heard this argument before. About her being the czar. Okay, the czar. Just because the name is czar doesn't mean you're in charge of anything. And you on the right gave her the border czar name. Nobody.
Oh, no, I'm not really a right guy. I'm an independent, to be honest. I don't like both sides, but yeah.
Who did you voted for Trump, didn't you?
Yeah, but I kind of regret that vote because they're all the same. If you really look at it, it's two different wings of the same bird, Democrat and Republicans.
So, I mean, but what is fascinating, or is there something that's you regret? Why do you regret voting for him though? What happened?
Oh, the reason why I regret voting for Trump is because he said he was going to end wars. Obviously, he didn't. He was going to bring back manufacturing. He hasn't. What else? He didn't release the Jeffrey Epstein list. That was a big red flag for me. And he sent $12 billion and I think an additional $3 billion to Israel, which I do not support. I think Israel is a horrible country.
So you're saying everything he's done, you didn't approve of?
Yeah. Oh yeah, right now, no, he's doing a horrible job, in my opinion.
I mean, because I'm getting the pushback in the comment section. How is it that me and you disagree and I agree with everything you just said?
Oh no, yeah, we agree on Trump that he's horrible right now. But the thing I disagree with you is about skin color and gender.
Oh, okay. But you see,
no, we agree.
I'm just saying, am I way off with? He's doing way the most, way out of what we thought he would do, and everything is just imploding as it goes along. Or is that just me? I mean, I want a president to be successful, but he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing to be successful.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he I thought he was going to put America first, but he's putting Israel first, which I do not support,
Ouch. Have you seen the Nick Fuentes video and he breaks it down? Have you seen that, or did you just come in?
Yeah, I love Nick Fuentes is my guy. That's my candidate. I hope he runs one day. He's 27 right now.
He would never run. He would never be. He would be the person that would be behind the scenes, but he would never run. But I'm saying
he would run. He's getting popular. He's popular right now. He's getting a lot of attention. I think he would run one day.
They're gonna. I don't know. They're gonna do something with that kid. I get it. I get that he has the reputation that he has, but that information that he put out in that last video, that's wild. He says Trump is in the bed. He's in bed with Israel, or he's.
Oh no, that's true. That's true though. Trump is in bed with Israel. When Israel comes into the Oval Office and tells him what to do, he listens like a good little boy,
So you think our foreign policy is kidnapped by Israel?
100%. Israel controls our government. 100%.
See, that's not America first.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Trump is not America first. I thought he was. I mean, his first administration was good. The first time he was pretty solid, but now not good anymore. He lost his fastball.
He's bought. The minute he came into office, he was bought. They bought him, and he's doing all of the bidding, and it's against America first. That's what I don't like. It's all against America first. It's only in the interest of what Netanyahu wants to do.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
And I'm not saying Israel is not our ally or not. I'm not saying any of those things. What I am saying is we can see that our president is not doing things for us first.
Yes.
We can see that. So it is what it, and I really don't like that Palestine thing. You know, I really don't like that.
It's a genocide. What's going on? You know, innocent women and children are being blown to pieces in churches, hospitals, and you know, a bunch of places, and it's horrible. You know.
So my thing is, we can't. We have to do something. We have to turn it around somehow, some way, and I'm hoping we can do that November 26th, November 2026. But it is what it is. So me and you are not that far different, except you just didn't approve of Kamala being the candidate that she was because she didn't appeal to you and X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, she was not good.
Right. I mean, but if we run somebody else, if we run a decent enough candidate this next time, you'd consider voting for him?
We need JFK back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, JFK. You don't like Gavin Newsom? Somebody say Gavin Newsom in the chat. You don't like Gavin?
I don't know. He's a communist. He's a horrible scumbag who doesn't fix. I live in California, by the way, and he's horrible. He's horrible.
Oh, he's horrible in California. Oh, okay. Okay. See, I don't know him very well. So I don't know him very well.
Yeah.
Okay, but we need somebody. We need somebody, and I don't know where they're. I like Beto O'Rourke. Y'all can look him up. Beto O'Rourke.
Oh, is it Beto from Texas?
Yeah. That's why.
Yeah, I heard he's pretty solid.
Yeah, he's
even though I don't like Democrats, but maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll look.
I mean, look up Beto O'Rourke. Beto O'Rourke. His name is Beto O'Rourke, and he's a solid guy. Yep. So thank you, sir. Thank you for calling in. Thank you for calling me. Thank you.
Wait, I'm not done. Wait, is this it?
Give me your final thought, then. Give me your final thought.
Okay. Let's talk about what we disagree, because we agree Trump is not America first. You know, he's a sellout. He's a Israel slave, in my opinion. Okay, from what I'm getting at is you believe there is white privilege, right? Still currently.
Yeah. Of course.
Well, I disagree. There's no evidence of white privilege. There's no law that a white person can that a white person has that a black person has. You know, everybody's equal. We live in the United States of America. Everybody's equal. The civil rights passed, I believe I forgot, 1968 or 70s, around there. Sorry. And yeah, everybody's equal now, so I disagree. I believe it's the other way around, actually. It's a crazy take, but white people are being the most discriminated right now. There's certain things that white people could say that blacks cannot absolutely say. For example, white people cannot say, I'm proud of my heritage, because they will be pointed as a white supremacist. But when a black person says it, nobody questions it. When a Hispanic person says it, nobody questions it. So I believe it's the other way around. I think whites have been discriminated for the last 20 years, I believe. What do you think?
So you think they've been discriminated against? Okay, so
yeah.
So this country, and I said this a minute ago, and people looked at me. It said something funny.
Yeah.
This country was built for white men. This country was built for white men.
Yeah.
All of the things, the civil rights movement, all of those things, the Indian rights and all of those kind of things, and Asian rights, all of those things have been put in place to level the playing field for that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's called implicit bias. Everybody has it. Everybody has it. But the implicit bias is what keeps people where they are when it comes to race. Now, when you say you don't think white men people have white privilege,
there's no evidence.
White privilege means you don't have to do anything because you walk around as though there's nothing wrong. There's no crooked stairs. There's no crooked a ladder. There's nothing. There's no kind of barrier in your way. That is the whole point in having.
Oh, I could explain that. I could explain that, I think, easily.
Okay.
Okay, and I hope I don't offend you, or I'm just trying to, because you seem like a lovely lady. But the reason why people have like, I like stereotypes and maybe like they don't, you know, they have a sense of fear maybe around black people or something like that, is because the data proves that, okay, I'm not racist, but the data proves that blacks, not all of them, but a lot of them are violent. They are 13% of the population, but still commit the most crimes, which is 52%, which is concerning.
I have to send you to this particular page because your stats are wrong. First of all, you said
no, the FBI report in 2019, blacks are 13%, and they commit.
Yeah, and 50%. 50%. Yes, that's completely false.
It's not false. What?
Why? Why? Because 13% makes up all of us blacks, right? And not all of us blacks are violent, so it cannot be 13% of the people that are violent. It cannot be 50%.
No, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you guys are a small race, small group of people, 13%.
Right.
But can we agree? It's concerning that I'm not saying you specifically, but
only 1% of black people are violent.
The people that have the same ethnicity are the number one. They're the number one ethnicity that causes the most murders and homicides in America.
And that stat, you're wrong.
It's not wrong. The FBI report shows it.
Okay, what we can do is you got to present those facts to me because I can present different facts to you.
Okay, sure. Go on the 2019. You can search it up. I don't know if you have a computer. The 2019 FBI report.
Yes.
Crimes.
I know exactly where you're going, and at 50%
ethnicity.
50% is due to arrest, not convictions. Arrest. You gotta do the nuance of it. It's 13%, but 13% of the people are not violent for one.
No, I didn't say that.
I get that. And for two, the 50% is arrest, not convictions. The FBI website. And wait a minute, hold on. Let me put this in the chat. Hold on. Because we just did
also, I forgot to mention,
my buddy just did a breakdown of that whole. He did a breakdown. He's a statistician. And he just did a whole breakdown of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because this is the stat that Charlie Kirk kept saying. He kept saying the same thing. And I said, wait a minute, hold on. I know this can't be correct. Because I know that the Media Man, his name is Media Man, he broke that whole thing down. Why is it that we got the stats that we got? And the stats are incorrect.
No, they're not. I literally searched. Okay, I searched them up right now. Per capita. So I forgot to mention. Forgive me. I forgot to mention the word per capita. But, per capita, black people are 4 to 8 times more likely to commit a homicide or an offense.
And I just put the
combined. Listen, I'm not trying to say all blacks are violent, but how? Explain to me. I'm not trying to be rude. Explain to me how is it a small group of people that are 13%? They are still currently 4 to 8 times more likely to commit a violent crime, homicide, an offense.
Why
more
are
than
they?
White people and Hispanic combined. That's kind of concerning.
Because I think you're reading the stats wrong. I mean,
no, I'm not. I searched. I
think you're reading the stats wrong. I think 1% of us, only 1% of people are violent. Only 1% of that 13% are violent.
Oh no.
And that 50% are arrest, and they have nothing to do with convictions. A lot of people can be arrested, but convicted. Because if you look at those stats again, white males make up the bulk. They're 4 times as big a group as black people are, and so they commit more crime.
Oh no, that's because that's why it's important to know per capita, because of course white people commit there's more. How do I explain this? Because they're the majority of America, but I forgot to mention per capita. I'm talking about in that race. What race is most likely to commit a homicide or an offense? And the data shows black people.
That doesn't even make sense. If they're 4 times as big as us, if the white race
No, per capita. Do you know what per capita means? It means by that group by the population. That's what per capita means.
So black people harm black people and white people harm white people.
No. Okay, how do I explain this? I'm trying to think of words to explain it to you. Per capita. Per capita is, the average of their population.
Mm-hmm.
Of which race in that group is more likely to commit a crime, and the data shows black people
against black people. That's what I'm saying.
No, black people overall, any race.
No. Black people don't. Most people are stay within their race of doing harm. So most people stay within their race of doing harm. Black people do more crime with black people, and white people do more crime on white people.
Oh no, that's true. Blacks are the number one.
But I really don't understand the statistics that you're reading, because they seem to be different from the ones that I heard from Media Man. So you need.
I'm not trying to say anything,
I'm not here to argue those stats, because I'm not well versed with those stats. I do know that those stats that you're quoting are not true. I'm just saying I'm not the person to argue those.
According to the FBI.
I'm just saying I'm not the person to argue those facts, because I've heard different interpretations of the facts that you gave. You are giving the facts that Charlie Kirk gave, and the facts that Charlie Kirk gave.
No, not Charlie Kirk. No. This stat did not come from Charlie Kirk. This came. Forget about Charlie Kirk.
I'm saying this is a stat.
Forget about Charlie Kirk. Don't mention Charlie Kirk once, because it's actually irrelevant. This is an FBI report. It has nothing to do with political commentators, left, right. This is FBI report in 2019. So I don't want to talk about Charlie Kirk, to be honest. I was not a fan of Charlie Kirk.
Okay, so first of all, this is a 2019 study. 2,
yes,
I'm not versed with this study at all, so I don't know it. I'm saying to you, I am wholly uneducated on that whole stat thing. I only heard from a different source that said those stats, when they broke it down from the FBI report, they read the stats differently from what you did. I'm saying I put in the chat the stat, the first stat that you said. I put in the chat the person who broke it down, that stat from the FBI. I'm saying you would have to hit a panel that's more equipped to.
No, I just searched it up. I don't know if you trust searching it up, but yes, Black Americans are statistically recorded as committing more crimes per capita than white Americans. I just searched it up.
Yeah, but I'm still curious. What's curious. Up? Why bring that stat up? What does that stat mean? What does that mean?
Oh, okay. I'll tell you what it means. It's concerning that a small group of people are committing a lot of crimes.
But I don't believe
that's what's concerning, because you claim that there's racism, there's systemic, all this, but no, this isn't a systemic issue. This is a cultural issue. And I hope I don't offend you. Blacks do not stay in the house to take care of the kids. You could search the stat of 50% of black kids
and all
do not have a father figure in the house.
And all of your, wait a minute, I lost something. And all of your
it's a real stat. 50% of black kids don't have a father figure in the house. It's either he left or he rarely appears. Okay. Can we agree that's concerning?
It would be concerning if that were a true stat.
Yeah, it is. You can search it up. Yeah, you want me to search it up for you right now?
For intents and purposes, I'm not looking up those stats at this particular time. This is something that you argue with.
I'm searching it up, and I'm telling you, it's a fact.
It could very well be the true stat. I'm saying I couldn't argue with you one way or the other, whether it's true or not, because I haven't studied the stats. So I can't.
Well, okay, fine. That's fair. But here's my question. If these stats are true, can we agree that this is more of a cultural issue than a systemic issue?
What is a culture issue?
blacks
crime?
have a cultural problem. Blacks are
But whites are just as violent. So it's a
no
cultural problem.
no per capita. No. Whites, according to the numbers, I got
yeah,
check
but
them,
I'm
but
saying
they have,
we're not equipped.
whites have
Numbers.
more
The numbers.
father and mothers in the house.
I'm saying we're not equipped to do the numbers because I'm not well versed with the numbers. You're asking me about numbers.
This is insane. I mean, you claim there's systemic racism.
No, what you asked me about was white privilege. I said X, Y, and Z about white privilege. That has nothing to do with what you're talking about. I'm saying you said white privilege. That's an unearned advantage and benefits a white person in society. Okay.
Yeah, but there's no
norm. White people think that's the norm when it's not the norm for everyone. Okay. And their white skin gives them privilege around the globe. As there was an example did the other day. A woman said, we gave 4 people money. We gave 4 people things to do X, Y, and Z. And black people were treated just like the white person who had a felony record. Even though the black person didn't have a felony record, a lot of privilege goes on in this country still. Just for example, everybody's letting Donald Trump get away with everything he wants to get away with. If Obama did that, they'd burn the White House down. That's white privilege.
Wait, what? Wait. Let's rephrase that. Wait.
What I'm saying is,
Obama deported 5 million illegals, and nobody talked about that.
Hold on. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying
if Obama, actually proves the other way around.
No, what I'm saying is, if Barack Obama did all of the things that Donald Trump did, Obama would be up in front of an impeachment trial before.
No. Wait. Let me.
Everybody is letting this male who has all of this privilege, who has all this money, do what he wants to without any pushback. Obama would be up in impeachment.
Wait, that is contradictory. Wait. Pause. This is not accurate because Obama deported, I believe, 3 million illegal immigrants, and nobody talked about it like they're talking about Trump.
I'm not talking about deportations. We're talking about
policy. You just said if
Obama did half of the things that Trump did right now, Obama
he did it worse actually.
No, Obama would be up for treason. What? Obama would be up for
won a re-election in a row. I mean, everybody loved Obama because he was charismatic and he had some decent policies, I believe. But there was nothing about skin color.
Did Obama pack on tariffs? Did Obama do half of the? Did Obama come out every day talking about?
Wait. Answer my question. Did Obama deport 3 million illegals?
Yeah, but that's
okay. And where was the protest? Like we see right now, huge protest.
Because we didn't need to protest. Because
what do you mean?
Because he was doing it the legal way.
When a white man does it, people get mad. When a white man does it, people get mad because he's white and they're gonna assume he's racist.
He did it the legal way. Trump didn't do it the legal way. You honestly think jumping through somebody's roof, into somebody's house, dragging people out in the middle of the night in their underwear, babies naked, you think that's the legal way? You never heard Obama doing that.
Yes, Obama separated families. No, he started the cage policy. Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. Yes, in 2000.
The reason why those people were separated.
No, in 2012 there was a report of Obama having a kid in a cage. What do you mean?
The reason why those people were separated from their parents is because they came here without their parents. It wasn't a matter of separating them from their parents. They came here without their parents. That's why they were separated from their parents. Obama never separated people. It was they came here without their parents. Okay, people try to make it seem as though he did worse than Trump. No, This is worse. Dragging people to alligator Alcatraz is worse. Deporting people to foreign prisons is worse.
I don't know if they're
And
cartel, if they're gang
would have
members.
been up for Obama would have been there being kicked out of the presidency if he would have done.
You have no evidence for that, though. Yeah, you have no evidence. All you're basing this is on skin color and no evidence. Everybody loved Obama. Obama's approval rating was, I believe, 60 or 55 on average. Everybody loved Obama. Obama won. I'm trying to think. North Carolina, a very white state.
So why do we have such a pushback in the? So why do we have such a pushback in the chat about Obama wasn't no good president? Obama wasn't no good this, that, and the third. Obama was X, Y, and Z. Obama deported people the way he normally would deport. The way you normally would deport people. You don't have Obama. You don't have Obama with military people having arrested or dragged or harmed their regular American citizens. You never had Obama do that. Obama didn't unleash the military on their people in their neighborhoods. Obama never did that. Mm-hmm. Obama never went over there and gave somebody $40 billion and let the kids starve here in the country. Obama never did that. Obama never got on TV talking about those Republican terrorists, those Republican Antifa terrorists. But Obama get on TV and do that. That's
not my. Your claim is that this has to do with skin color, Obama.
But
I'm telling you have no evidence for that. Everybody loved Obama. Obama won, I think, like 400 electoral votes, more than that actually. He defeated John McCain in the popular vote. I mean, you have no evidence that this, like Obama, if he did, what Trump is doing, he would get kicked out because of his race. There's just no evidence.
No. Your original question was, why do I think white privilege is here? White privilege is the unearned benefit. It's an unearned benefit. You're not doing anything. It's an advantage that you get because of your skin color. So it's invisible. If you're white, it's invisible to you.
This is a victim mentality. This is the problem. This is the problem with blacks. I'm sorry, not. Well, yeah, this is the problem with a lot of blacks. Nothing racist.
So
you guys love to say victim mentality.
So you feel like no white person has any kind of advantage?
No, heck no. There's no evidence to support that. Absolutely no evidence. Everything is built on merit and skill, not skin color. And if you like to play the skin game, the skin game card, so you like a victim mentality.
Wait a minute.
You love the victim mentality. Listen, I agree.
Question.
No, wait, I'm not done. I agree. White privilege did exist in a certain period in America. 100%. That's undisputable.
If you test, it still exists. You don't get into your car and think that you got to make sure that you have your hands on the wheel. You don't say anything or move suddenly when the police pull you over. You don't think like that, do you? You never think like that. You just get in the car and you just drive. You don't think nothing of the police pulling you over. You don't never think of any of those things. Okay? But somebody with white privilege would never think of those things. They would never think. We have to tell
white people get killed by cops all the time.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you get in the car and you don't worry about driving anywhere, anytime, anyhow, any day of the night, anywhere. You never worry about that when you're white.
Okay, what's your point?
My point is black people do. Because it's
that's because I'll explain that. No, that's easy.
Because you haven't thought beyond this.
No, that's simple. That's simple. No, if I could respond, that is simple. It's because they have been hijacked in the brain by the media and by their parents and their ancestors who are still stuck in the 1960s to have a victim mentality. It's that simple. So this is a generation.
No, it's not that simple. We don't have
a generation line.
We don't have a victim mentality. You've heard this shit.
Yes, you do. You claim yes, you do.
From the internet. Because this is what I hear from the internet all the time. I hear the same talk.
No.
Every talking
black young people inherit this thinking, this theory that you have to be scared because of a cop.
Sir, everything you have come up here and said is something I've heard from someone else on the internet. You got
no. It's just common sense. Black people inherit this belief. You don't give them a free thing. Well, I'm not saying you specifically, but for the most part, you don't give them a free thought to actually experience life and to see if racism occurs with them. I'm pretty sure it does. But to say that this is systemic, that this is the whole United States,
you have a white privilege. I'm saying you have white privilege. You don't have a problem if you run into law enforcement. You never think anything twice about
what do you mean?
I'm not saying a real problem. I'm saying driving around, doing what you want to do every day without thinking. You can do
Cops
that.
are suspicious of everybody. It's not about skin color.
See, I can't explain it to somebody who's white who doesn't understand. If you're
Well,
white,
I'm not actually. I'm actually not.
You're Hispanic.
I'm actually not.
So
Caucasian. Yeah.
You're Hispanic.
Mm-hmm.
So you mean to tell me?
And I gotta tell you, I've never dealt with racism. The racism I've only dealt is probably with my friends when we joke around or
hold on.
actually.
So you don't know any Hispanic people at all that got
I'm just talking about me.
They got pulled in. No. I'm talking about you. You don't have any friends, family, or cousins or extended family. Nobody that's been pulled out of their car because they're Hispanic from ICE. You don't have anybody.
Correct. No, and I actually saw ICE. First of all, ICE, I think they gone too far, but I saw ICE in Lowe's. They seen me. They didn't approach me at all. No dirty look. And as far as my family's history, they have never had an experience. Maybe I should ask more, but they have never had an experience with a cop where it seemed like it was about skin color, Never.
So you're considered white passing Hispanic?
No, I'm actually tan. I'm like tan.
And so you don't feel as though there's any racism or any kind of discrimination against even your own people?
No, I mean me specifically. No, I feel free. I feel like
I'm talking about Hispanics in general. You feel like there's no barriers to them at all either, right?
Let me think.
So them doing what they're doing with ICE, pulling people over because of their skin color, pulling people over because of their accent. None of that is registering with you as being out of the ordinary. You notice how they ain't pulling straight white people out of the car.
They are. They are. Well, it's very small. It's because if you look at the data, most illegal immigrants, sadly, it's unfortunate, are of South American or North American descent, whether that's Mexico, Guatemala, Venezuela. So they have a what's it called? A pattern that they have to focus. That's ICE's policy. Do I agree? I don't know, but that's their policy.
So you said it's their policy. So it doesn't matter whether your family or anybody else is being pulled out.
My family has been good. My family has been good.
Okay. So they don't have to worry. So you're white passing.
No, I'm literally brown. Actually, I'm like brown.
And so you don't see any kind of discrimination in this country whatsoever. And you're Hispanic.
Definitely. No, there's definitely racism. I'm not doubting that there's racism.
Oh, so why is that?
America.
Why did you come up here talking about? We act like we're victims. If you see racism, you understand racism, and you understand it's not a victim mentality.
Well, if I could finish, if I could finish,
you make it sound like it's in my head when it's not in my head. If you understand, if you see racism, and you just said you did, how do you come up here and say I got a victim mentality?
Wait, I didn't finish. It's because you. Not you, maybe, it's actually you specifically, but a lot of you and blacks and even Hispanics, actually, you like to play this victim mentality that there's a white evil man behind me trying to ruin my life. Oh my goodness, the evil white man, the European man, he's going to ruin my life. There's something against me. I'm not going to have the best opportunities in America because we live in a white community. That's most of your brothers and sisters. That's your mentality, and it's negative and it's toxic, and it's what's ruined the young black youth.
It can be as negative. It can be as negative.
This is what has ruined the young black youth.
hold on. It can be as negative as it wants. It doesn't mean white privilege doesn't exist, and it doesn't mean racism doesn't exist. That's the thing. It doesn't.
Well, I see right now there's racism against white people. Wait.
Hold on.
Do you think black privilege exists? I'm going to make a claim black privilege exists.
Hold on. We just had a case of redlining that went into effect, and there was case 1 last year. If we don't have racism, we never would have had that case of redlining come into play. If you don't know what racism is, it has to do with, housing and fair advantages when it comes to loans and X, Y, and Z. They found that there was a firm not giving black people and Hispanic people loans, not giving them decent rates with what they would give to the white people.
Well, that's illegal. Well, if that's happening, then that's illegal, and they should pay the price. They should pay the price.
Of course,
and that shouldn't happen.
The whole point is you can't say just because people have a victim mentality that there is no racism. There is racism. There's systematic racism, and there's racism.
No, there's no systematic. That's where we disagree, and I respect your opinion.
I just told you about redlining. If you don't know about redlining, then you can't tell me there's not systematic racism. Redlining was something they put into place years ago, and it's still going on right now. Please read about it.
How about DEI? Wait. How about okay? Let's do the reverse then. Let's do the reverse. How about DEI? Their policies, they want 40% of their employees to at least be a woman or a person of color. So let me give you an example. If you're a
now you got talking point. Now you got talking points.
No, if you have a boss and there's a black guy who he's pretty good, but he's less qualified than.
How do you know he's less qualified? How do you know he's less qualified?
You look at his record, you look at his college degree, you look at everything.
So here's the question: how do you know they're not qualified for the jobs?
Yeah, it wasn't finished. And the white guy, obviously, he has better credentials. This is just a hypothetical. It could go both ways. But the white guy, obviously, this is what DEI does. He has better.
No, that's not. That doesn't happen. That doesn't.
Better college degree, better scores, better everything.
That doesn't
happen. No, it does happen. Airlines, because they want to make things, they want to make things more.
Hold on.
Diverse. They want to make things more. Wait, I'm not finished.
Wait a minute, hold on.
I'm not finished.
You just
wait, I'm not finished. They want to make things. Wait. They want to make things more diverse.
You just made that plain shit that Charlie Kirk was talking about.
No.
I ain't finna deal with that kind of crazy shit. What the fuck are you doing? Why y'all don't do goddamn research? Why y'all don't do goddamn research? No, I'm not gonna let somebody talk and you sound crazy. He is a Hispanic male who does not understand what prejudice is. He is a Hispanic man that passes as white. That's wild. That's wild to me.
From.
That's wild to me. That's wild to me. It don't apply to him. White privilege. This country was made for white men. All of the laws, the bylaws, everything else were put into place for white men. White women were subjugated. They couldn't vote. They couldn't own houses. They couldn't do anything. So white women didn't count. Black people were slaves. So they didn't count. So who the fuck you think this world was made for if it wasn't made for somebody white? Get into the game. That's wild to me. Everybody in the chat, look up redlining lawsuit. Look it up. Redlining lawsuit that was just won last year. Somebody look it up. It's called redlining lawsuit from last year. Redlining was how they put discrimination on black folks so black folks could only get loans for this particular area, for this particular house in this particular city. That's what's called redlining. That doesn't encompass all of it, but that's what redlining was. Last year, and they put those laws, redline laws, in 70, 60, 70 years ago. They still do redlining now. They just won a lawsuit about redlining last year. That's what's called systematic racism, and it still goes on to this day. Sundown Town still exists. I'm not saying anything other than that. Every stat this person wants to give to me, he's giving me a lie. The same bullshit I heard from Charlie Kirk. The same bullshit he was spitting was from Charlie Kirk. That's how I know the zombie thing works. And I'm not going to listen to that zombie shit without you doing freaking research. Redlining has to do with housing. And I'm not going to do your job for you. I'm not going to do your job for you. Redlining has to do with housing. And there was a case of redlining last year or the year before. So if you don't want to do the research, don't fucking do the research. Okay? But systematic racism is still here. White privilege is still here. When I go into a store and a white person goes into a store, some people naturally assume that she won't steal. But a lot of people will think I steal because I'm black, but they give her a pass because she's white. That's called white privilege. It happens all the time. And I can't explain that to a Hispanic young man if he's never a lot of y'all young people ain't never seen it. So you want to dismiss it, but it happens every day. It's called it. People commit those atrocities or discrimination against people because it's called implicit bias. We all have the implicit bias. I'm saying recognize that you have an implicit bias and do things to change it. No word of mouth. You're a zombie if you haven't looked anything up and you're talking. If you don't understand redlining, go look it up. Go look it up. Go look up white privilege. No, they're going to learn up in here. Don't come up here and say, I don't know what I'm talking about. I know exactly what I'm talking about. I was born then. Okay? This world was made for white men. This country was formed for white men. Then nobody had no rights except white men that were 21 years old and who could vote. Okay? Just because we had a black president don't mean jack shit. Dumb word of mouth, zombie, mouth carpet, zombie. Man, y'all make me call you names. Stop it. Do your research. It don't matter who started the redlining, Black Wolf. It still goes on today. And get into the game. Some of y'all need to get into the game. Jesus, I went over my time. But I thank you very much. Please sub to the channel. Please like the video. All you retards who keep flagging my channel, it ain't working because they know I'm not saying anything bad and I'm not going against you. But it's okay. Keep on doing that. Please hit the like button, subscribe button, share button. I appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow for a whole nother topic. We'll be back tomorrow with a whole nother topic. I appreciate y'all. I've been on here long enough. I got to go eat. I forgot. I got to go eat. But I appreciate y'all. I do appreciate you. Hit the like and the subscribe.